It's your boy Triple BLACK, aka the number one stunner, aka three black hearses, aka winter, fall, summer. I'm tripolar, ho. You already know what it is, man. But anyways, ah, what did it do? What did it do? What it do, man? What it do? What it do? Anyways, man, I don't be around, man. I'm gonna go ahead and would have dropped the link. Man, I ain't like some of these other cats hooping and hollering. Shit, bitch, drop the link, motherfucker. Anyways, man, it's all gravy, baby. Anyways, man, shout out to the whole manosphere, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Anyways, man, if you like the content, man, hit your boy up on the Cash App, your boy Chippo, BLACK, aka the number one stunner, aka the boss, aka three black hearses, aka winter, fall, and summer. Tripolar ho. You already know. Anyways, man. It's a different seasons, man. That I'm versatile like that. Did that rhyme? Shout out to Sir Ism, man. This is the reason that I'm making this show right here, man. Because I was married. I was married. I was married. And the characteristics. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing while it lasted. There is a lot that can be learned from it. There's a lot that could be. Um, you can learn a lot from it, man. If you choose right, man, and having a family and doing that stuff that way, man, is a beautiful thing, man. But it ain't for everybody, man. And the reason it ain't for everybody is because a lot of people don't got their priorities right, and the thing about it too, this is the biggest thing is people don't vet properly, and that's a mistake a lot of men make. And I'm just only speaking from a man perspective because a lot of times the men are the ones that are controlling marriages. 'Cause they say women control access to sex and men control access to relationships. And the deepest form of relationship is a marriage. So with men um, being they would men actually being in charge of that, they have to make the right decision. So men's got to start taking responsibility for these for this high divorce rate, even though a lot of women initiated, but I think a lot of times men are choosing wrong. You know what I'm saying? They chose wrong, but sometimes stuff goes sour. I think men need to really vet and look for characteristics that are important, to sustain long-term marriages or long-term relationships in general. You feel me? This culture is really not conducive to that, man. Because I was very telling. I was listening. I was on. Shout out to Mace, man. Shout out to Mace Taggart. I was on his platform yesterday, and I was talking to a young brother. I don't know how young he is. He's a brother on this platform. Shout out to Laro. And I was just like, and Surism was on there too. We were sitting there chopping it up, and then I got in the conversation of marriage and what to look for, and it completely, um, it started to. Um, soon as I started to talk about it, it almost like the derailment came right out the gate, and basically he was like, yeah, she's still gonna be banging the gardener, and she's still gonna be doing this, and you can't expect, it was just a whole bunch of stuff, and the thing about it is you got to be real. Like, I think when it comes to marriage, men have to be realistic about it. They have to be realistic about it. You gotta be able to vet these women very properly. And the thing about it is you got to understand every woman is not marriage material. It's just not marriage material. She's just not marriage material. And the thing is that's why a lot of people in the manosphere, they harp on these things so much because you're not making a safe bet when you bet these things. You know what I'm saying? Some of these bet, like for instance, why is it so important about the woman's sexual history? Because it's a great indicator of how promiscuous or how loyal she may be to you, if that's important to you. And I know men in general, especially in a marriage, they're very territorial because there's a lot to lose there, because if she's out there sleeping around or doing whatever, and she has that's I mean, in certain states it doesn't matter. Like if she gets pregnant, you're and has a baby, you're presumed the father, and you're going to be presumed to have that financial responsibility. So it is it's not and the thing about it is you got these feminists and then the feminist movement, and they'll do everything in their power to try to liberate or try to shame guys from having certain standards when it comes to sexual history and things like that. So I know some of the stuff that's said is a hard pill to swallow. I mean, it's a red pill. It's a hard pill to swallow. It's a um, after a certain amount of sexual partners, some women just are not safe bets. It's not to mean that they're bad women, but you got to know what to look for. And it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. But that's the thing. It's like I think one of the problems is it's very offensive uh when men it's very offensive most of the time when men actually talk about the standards that they have for themselves or what their expectations are. And the problem is too many men are too afraid to express those things. They're express it's like um men are just so happy to be in the presence of a fucking woman now that they will put up with damn near anything, or they'll put up with damn near anything. And the thing about it is because a lot of times through life now these women are getting they're having they have all these people that at least have sex with them, at least give them attention, get all their basic net needs met. They'll give them money and shit like that. It gives them a deep delusion, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of them don't ever develop relationship skills, because they've been past their bad behaviors and shit like that have been pacified for so long. I mean, it's been pacified for so long that they like, and it's almost offensive when men have standards. That's why, like, somebody like Kevin Samuels hit the scene, and he was giving them to him raw, because what men has been doing for the longest is pacifying all these damn women, and their bad behavior and their delusion, their their everything. It's just afraid to really put parameters on relationships. Have stand. It's just like women now. I don't blame them, because a lot of women just think just because they have a fucking vagina, they can do whatever the fuck they want to, and they don't have enough dudes that are with a backbone and be like, you got to be this, you got to be that, you got to be this. This is all I'm fucking taking. I'm not making no goddamn compliments. I'm not letting you fucking lead nothing. A lot of guys don't have that. But let's go over that, man. I mean, there's the thing about it is you got in and I think dudes have to be a little bit especially if you want a family. Especially if you want a family, you got to be more vigilant on trying to discover where to find um, um, where to find a good wife. There's certain. I mean, it's you. You can't be in a club. I mean, the club is not a great place to find a wife. It's just not. Uh, it's just not. It's just not. I mean, a good when you see that scantily clad woman, with the fucking, short skirt, cat suit or whatever, that's not. I mean, that's a risky bet. That's a risky bet because that's an attention. That's probably an attention whore to the fullest. That's a risky bet. That's why there shouldn't be no expectations, even though I know you can meet a woman at a club and maybe she be marriage material, but most of the time the women that hang out in the club every other weekend or every weekend and doing that, they're not safe bets. I mean, that's not what a wife looks like. I mean, that's just not what I mean, her shopping patterns. And we had a little bit of a conversation about that yesterday. It's like, for instance, a woman that shops at Costco would probably be a much safer bet than like a woman that just that eats out all the time. I mean, it's just it's that's a lot of times I think that's a lack of nurturing. Um, Hold on a second. Yeah, that's probably not a safe bet. It's probably not a safe bet. It's probably hold on. That eats out all the time. Somebody that shops at Costco or shops at those warehouses. Those are more like I think those are more those would be more of safe bets. Because that type of woman is more likely to be someone very like nurturing. You know what I'm saying? That cooks dinner for her man. That buys his socks, buys his underwear, buys all these type of things, is able to take care of a family. If she's always shopping and individualistic and things like that, frivolous, spending money frivolous, she's probably not going to be a safe bet when it comes to marriage. Because one of the biggest problems, and I'll tell you this and this is from personal experience, and you can ask a lot of people. The one of the reasons why a lot of marriages fail most of the time, and it's about money, and men. I don't think, and I think again, men have to take some of the responsibility for some of the choices that they make when it comes to choosing a mate, because the thing about it is when you start dating her and she's running check to check and she's always buying Louis this, Louis that, always eating out, always going out and all this type of stuff. No, I mean that's not a good bet, because the thing about it is no matter what women will tell you, and sometimes you gotta be disciplined, because they'll tell you whatever you want to. Believe it or not, if the ones that be bumping their gums about this is, I mean, I got my own money, blah blah blah, and check this out. When you're in a relationship, your money is their money and their money is their money. And if you have the notion that, like, what, maybe she'll help us out, of anything, she's going to try to spend all hers, and then she's going to try to spend some of yours too. It's just their nature. I mean, especially if you're a dude that's not disciplined, if you're a dude that's has this mentality of a 50-50 partnership, and she's running some of the show, because this is the thing, with in men. That's why you have to properly vet these women. What does a good wife look like? The good wife looks like somebody that's willing to let that's financial responsibility. I mean, financially respond. So, you know, if she's a saver, good wife. I mean, if she's able to save, she has her own savings account, and she's not living check to check. If she doesn't have maxed out credit cards, she doesn't have a shitload of debt. You know, she has a modest car. A modest car is a very good indicator. Very good indicator. You know, a modest car, or even a car that's paid off. That's a very indicator of a woman that's a good that's that. You know, even if she lives at home, because the thing about it is is modesty is a very key indicator on a good wife. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Hold up, swell up. Anyways, man. Um, let's go through some. This is a sign she will be a good wife. Um, don't nag or complain too much. I understand. I understand. And again, these are very key indicators. So when with if you have certain expectations as a man, you have to look for these indicators. You got to be able to vet these indicators because um, you know, we see these videos all the time in and you got to understand what you're getting. You know, and I think a lot of men get discouraged because they see uh um because the thing about it now, it's incentivized for women to show their worst fucking side. So you'll see these videos of these chicks talking and talking and talking, and then they're showing their worst side. You know, they're complaining, they're nagging, they're doing all this type of toxic stuff. You know, they're acting entitled, like everything is about them, everything will run that. I mean, if when you notice those type of behaviors, man, just freaking run for the hills, guys. Just run for the hills. Don't even deal with it because it's never. I mean, you might you, you know, she might be worth, maybe she might be worth, you know, maybe a roll in the hay for one night or whatever. But if you know, if you have that entitled nagging if she has that entitled nagging presence about her, just run for the hills. Run for the hills. Just run. Just completely run. Run for the hills. Just run for the hills. It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. Just run and just keep running and running and running and running and running because um, you're gonna end up chasing your tail. You know, because if they have a tendency to nag and do that, it doesn't matter. If she doesn't know how to control her tongue, she'll never make a good wife. You know, if she complains and nags, she'll never be happy. You'll be chasing your tail. You know, that's where that cooperativeness comes from. So you guys have to really hone in on those things. You know, um, one of the things is they're not selfish. They're not selfish. Being selfless, it's you know, and mm, you have to. I I understand, you know, a lot of dudes succumb to manipulation. A lot of dudes succumb to the bag or not the bag, but just manipulation and those type of things. Uh, it's it's just a like those characteristics, and you got to look for these key indicators, man, of people being selfish. Um, if all they do in the relationship is think about themselves, just know that you're far from being a good wife. If you're always thinking about yourself, if you're always care about more, what they start asking questions. What do you bring to the table? Um, you know, uh, blah blah blah. They just have this one-sided approach. Hey, listen, it's not a good bet. It's not a good bet. It's just not a good bet. And I'm just telling you for your from from you're saving yourself a lot of heartache, women, and also men. You're safe if you know that you're inherently selfish. Just don't get in a relationship, because all you're going to do is both of you guys chase your tail. And are they supportive? Because a good wife must be supportive in the best interest of their man. They have to. They gotta. They If they're not interested in your goals, they're not interested in your ambition. No, I mean that's just not going to be a. It's just not going to be a good bet. And you know what? And I especially when they're uh you know when their ego is bigger than yours, then you just know it's not going to be a safe bet. It's just not going to be a safe bet. It's just run for the hills. Run for the hills. Save yourself the heartache. Save yourself the anguish. Save yourself the finances. Save yourself that, because if they're unwilling to be supportive to you on anything, it's not going to work. And trust me, I've seen this firsthand. So I was in the and the last point was selfish and supportive. If they're not interested in your goals and dreams, if they're not interested in helping you improve yourself as a man, it's just, I'm not saying that they're bad women or whatever. It's just it's not a safe bet. That's not what a good wife is about. It's just that's not. I mean, most of the time, a good wife is trying to elevate you to a different level. Because they'll be interested in your goals, they'll be interested in your ambitions, they'll be interested in what makes you tick, they'll be interested in being a helpmate to you achieve success, because they know it's going to trickle down to them. They're going to get some type of reward for it. You feel me? But if it's all about them, or I want, like, you got to listen to the key things. If they start talking about partnership, um, you know, partnership, blah blah blah, and they're not trying to elevate you, it's not going to be. They're probably not going to be a good wife. They're just probably not going to be a good wife. They might be fit, feminine, and beautiful. But unless they can make an investment in you as a man, or be selfless as a woman, it's just not going to be a good bet. It's just not going to be a good. It's just probably not going to be a good fit. None of that stuff. So you know, um, you know, and the thing about it too, and sacrifice is quite it's hard. It's hard for people to sacrifice some things, and a lot of people um like, especially in the manosphere and things like that, they said that when you're vetting, it's probably be a safer bet, especially if you're trying to get married, you're trying to have a family, you're trying to have, this you look for a younger woman, because you look for a younger woman because of the time. A lot of times, a younger woman hasn't seen some of the things that, like, an older woman has seen. And the thing about it is a lot of times they're not really good wife material, because they won't go. One thing that they do, most women have a very uh, um, they have a very bad, I mean, they have an issue with going back. You know what I'm saying? If they had a Mercedes, I mean, they have a problem driving, just a regular schmegular car, because It's just in their nature to do that. So, um, you know, if they're only looking for what they can get, especially in the relationship stage, they're not making like they're not making sacrifices. um, then you know it's probably not a good bet. You know what I'm saying? If like I'll give you an example. If like let's just say you're in the relationship stage or cohabitation, right? And you'll be like, babe, hey, let's eat beans and rice for months, um, just beans and rice. We're not going out. We're gonna sacrifice that. You can't go to the club for 4 or 5 months. I mean, 3 or 5, like 3 months, and then we're gonna take all our money and we're gonna pull it together and we're gonna make all these sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna eat out. We're gonna keep this on the limited budget or whatever. Make these sacrifices in order to you know to go on this vacation with each other, or to save for a wedding, or to save for this, and make these sacrifices. I mean, that's probably a keeper, man. It's probably definitely a keeper if they're able to do it. Now, if they take the mentality of, you, um, it's all about you. What can you do for me? I want to get this Louis bag, and I want to save. Nah, we can save for that, but I'm gonna save for my Louis bag, and um, you know, I want you. You should be the man, and if you start getting all that talk, um, I mean, it's just that's not a safe bet. That's not a safe bet. That's not what a good wife looks like. It just doesn't. It doesn't look. That's not what it looks like. Because sacrifice is essential, especially in a relationship or man. And there's a lot of different ways that you can vet the person to see if they sacrifice. Like you say, a common savings goal. You set a goal and be like, hey, we need let's save $10,000, and we're gonna make these sacrifices to save the $10,000. To because the thing about it is if they're not conditioned to be able to make sacrifice, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work because you're going to have changes. You're going to have children, and there's certain times in life, when if you don't have a savings plan, and she got to go out of work, or if you both work, or one of them, you guys take a loss, and 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 that person's not conditioned to sacrifice, to be able to sacrifice and stuff like that. It's not, I mean, that's not a good wife. It's not going to be a good situation for you. Let's just say you break your leg and you can't work for 6 months. If that woman is not able or be in condition to be able to sacrifice or make sacrifices, the first train out of town she gets, she's gonna go. So again, that's why I keep harping on that. It's you gotta, especially if you're gonna put a ring on the finger, you gotta be able to see some of these characteristics, and sacrifice is one of them. If she's not able to sacrifice, if she's very selfish and not selfless, she can't really get to goals. It's not going to be a good bet for you, because it's a marathon. Like for instance, when you have a child and you want them to go to college, you want to save for them. If that person doesn't want to give up, their nails, every month, or their expensive weaves every month, it's probably not going to be a safe bet, man. It's probably not going to be a safe bet that and that person probably doesn't want to ever sacrifice, their lifestyle or whatever. And not being able to reach goals, especially in a marriage, is going to be difficult for it to be sustained. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult, if not impossible. Because if you look at the people that are in long-term relationships, they usually have common goals. That's why you see them on vacation with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they be like, hey, you know what? Hey, babe, we're gonna eat beans and rice for 4 months, and we're gonna stack every chip that we have so we can go on this, this is just vacation, and it's not going to really affect our lifestyle. Babe, you got to make this sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop, getting your hair done. You got to stop getting your nails done for these 4 months, and then you got to stop going out. You got to stop, you know, eating out. We're cooking everything. When you go to, we're going to share a car or whatever. Like those type of things are very, very good key indicators, and sacrifice is one, and it goes on both sides. It goes on both sides. Well, as a man, I'm just mostly giving, the men some of the game on how to properly vet, because we all know about these rates of divorce, and we know about these rates of divorce, and again, shout out to Sir Ism, because Sir Ism, said something about we got to start holding ourselves accountable. And I think because we do a lot of times, the men are the ones that are proposing, and we're the ones that are proposing. We're the ones that control these relationships, whether we get into a relationship or not, and we got to properly vet. So if we properly vet more marriage capable, marriage minded, good bets of women that have the ability to sustain long-term relationships, we have to be able to look at those women and recognize who they are. If that is your goal. A lot of times your goal might not to be have family, to raise kids and be married. That's fine. But I'm just looking at for if you're looking from that perspective, right? And you are afraid. You're afraid because you hear a lot of what the especially if you're in the Black community, that there's going to be 80% of the divorces are going to be initiated by women, and that's a very scary number. You can get scared off of that, but there is still 20% that men that initiated, I guess, in their statistics. But there are some long lasting marriages. I refuse to believe that most marriages don't have a chance from the beginning. I do think they do. I do think, especially in this culture, everybody's conditioned to kind of almost think about themselves. What is in it for me? Oh, what can I get out of this, and all that. So, and the reason I'm giving this is, I'm giving this because uh, it's very important that a lot of men recognize some of these qualities, like in the beginning, when they're vetting these women, because you got to understand that some of these women that are like in their 40s, 35s, and all this type. They're already set in their ways. They're not going to to submit to anything. They're not going to submit to anybody. They're not going to they're not going to submit to anybody. They're just going to be who they are. Uh, if they if they try to be dominant, if they attempt to make their man um like try if they're trying to be dominant all the time, they're trying to control the man. um most of the time it's going to kill the relationship. As soon as she starts wearing the pants, it's almost curtains. And I know some uh like the thing about it is, and most people know this stuff, and they don't want to acknowledge it, like the domineering women. um it's a to most men, that domineering thing it's a major turnoff. Now, you may have some men that I guess they like a dominant, alpha female woman. But most of the time, you're gonna look at, you see those nasty divorce. Just go look at divorce court. You see those nasty divorces, and then you'll see that domineering woman that that's disrespectful, always talking down, always trying to control the situation, and you can get that early in the process. Once you recognize that, you have to know that's not a safe bet. That's not what a good wife looks like. It's just not. And the thing is you have the women now that thinks that, I don't know what it is maybe some men have perpetuated this boss bitch mentality, this I can do what I want to do. I can, run the show, run the ship, steer the car, all this type of shit. To men, to me, I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I think that's a very repulsive. It's just a repulsive quality in a woman to be very domineering or dominant. That alpha, and it's so easy to recognize. Soon as you hear that, I'm a boss bitch, I'm a um, domineering, person or whatever, just run for the fucking hills. Just run for the hills. Run, just run. Just keep running. Don't do that. Just don't even engage. I mean, I know it's harder said than done because you know a lot of a lot of women um can get away with being like unbearable and domineering and unbearable because of their looks, based on their looks. That can be that can be a characteristic, you know what I'm saying? And men, you have to look past that. You have to because you're going to get to an age to where your peace is going to be much more important than what she looks like. Um, if you look around sometimes, go to a grocery store, right? You'll see a grocery store, and then you'll see a man, and then you'll be like, well, man, that dude he probably can get a lot better or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And look how his wife is extra average, and they're shopping together and stuff like that. You know what? That woman probably is giving him something that's very priceless. For me personally, like loyalty is so priceless to me. You know, I'd rather be with a 5 that's loyal as hell to me than a 10 that's, for the streets, because it's just that important to me, you know? And then, you'll have like these famous celebrities, and they'll have these average looking women or whatever. Um and people don't understand it because it's about value system. It's definitely about value system. Sometimes you've what you put value and onus on is going to be completely different. And one consistent thing that I've seen about men, a lot of men are willing to sacrifice, in that, the looks department, when it comes to woman, if she brings certain aspects to the table, if she's very nurturing, is she, one of the key indicators that is cooking. Cooking is a very key indicator because not only is she able to nurture you or nourish you, she's able to nourish your offspring. That's a very important quality. If anything, she's. They said it was the best way the man's heart is through his stomach. That's a really important concept. Growing up, I seen where my dad, he probably would never eat at another woman's house. He would never eat at another woman's house. He was very loyal to my mom based on that, because she showed those characteristics. She was she was argumentative sometimes, but she wasn't dominant. I mean, whatever. My dad. Hey, Misha, what's happening? What's going on, Misha? What's going on? Anyways, now we just chopping it up, man. Talking about the characteristics, of a good wife. What's a good wife looks like? I mean, I don't think in I the reason I did this way is, sure, we have this divorce statistics, and people always talking about divorces, and these bad relationships, and all these things. And I think, and I was listening to Sir Ism, and the thing about it is I think men, especially if men in this day and age, the ones that want to be traditional, they want to have families, that want to have kids, they want to grow a legacy. We got to start taking the onus on our part, and I think being able to vet women a little bit better, and also look in the right places, I think will definitely be a thing. And the thing about it is just some people are just not marriage minded. Some people are just not marriage material. So in being able to recognize that out the gate and make a better pick for a mate from that perspective, I think is very, very important. um, you know, the next thing I want to talk about is uh, are you a good lover? You know, I'm not talking about a good lover of somebody like twerking and shaking ass and doing all this stuff on Instagram. I mean, do you? I mean, a good woman is somebody that knows how to love and know how to be loved. You know, because the thing about it is if you don't know how to love, it's just not going to work. And the thing about it is and I'm looking from a male's perspective. You got to be able to recognize, just because she lays down with you, right, and she gives you that jiggly jiggly. I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Positive vibes this morning. It's ain't nothing, no pressure or anything like that. But no, but that's the thing is and there's certain key indicators, man. It's not about if she's a good lover, her, putting it down. It's not just about sex. It's about a whole bunch of different things. Um, if you want to, you know, I'm trying to use an example of love. Um, like the random acts of kindness, um, the ability to express yourself and show you who you love. I mean, that you love that person. Um, these women, I mean, what I've seen so far, I mean, and you can tell a lot um, by their social media interactions. Um, you can tell a lot by their social media interactions. Uh, if women, I mean, if that woman really has the ability to love you, because when okay, let's just say you have a little spat, right? And instead of coming to you and expressing that and telling you, she's loves you and this and that, and you want to work things out, blah blah blah. And she's able to be contrite, and even if she made the mistake or you made the mistake, or you can meet in the middle. But if she goes right to social media and she starts saying, dudes ain't this, or I'll go get me another one, stepdaddy season, blah blah blah, and then she starts going on the internet to try to look for the validation and things like that. That person probably doesn't know how to love. They just probably didn't know how to love. They probably are dysfunctional. They're probably uh because you don't really do, like, people that love you won't do that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They won't do that stuff. They're gonna come to you. They're gonna come to you. And that's a proper thing. And fellas, look at our social media sometimes. And if you see, these chaotic situations where you know, she has these memes about replacing dudes and doing all this type of stuff, and instead of and you know You know she probably cares a lot for that guy, but instead of being contrite and going to the guy and telling the guy that, she's expressing all this bullshit on social media. Um, that is a key indicator, in my opinion, that she just doesn't know how to love properly, or she doesn't know how to be loved, because it's just, they don't. I mean, good wives don't act that way. They just don't. They just don't. I mean, I don't know how else to frame it, but they're. I mean, they love with their heart. They love with all, like them. You feel me? You're getting them. Um, Another. This is a very key indicator, is maturity. Maturity. And what they do on social media is a key indicator of how mature they are. I mean, it's a uh, uh, you can't make a good wife when they're immature. There's nothing. It's a key requirement in a sexual in a successful marriage, man. I mean, it's just a key indicator. Um, and what and one of the hugest problems is, I think, I want to say society has pacified a lot of bad behavior, because we've created an environment that women want all the responsibility as an adult, but only want the accountability of a child. And right there, that's very, 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 very immature. It's very immature. It's very immature. Like, um, especially if you got to be able to have the maturity to have the self-awareness. You got to have the maturity to know that, if you got, if you got kids, um you have to know like there's a certain expectation that you should have as an adult. If your son shouldn't see you twerking on the gram. It shouldn't. It just shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen, because there should be a s- a, a certain level of expectation. Like, if your son shouldn't see you on the internet, this is for the men, smoking a blunt and, you know, macking the women, what I'm saying? Or not macking the women, but no, that's a bad, but just acting a fool. They shouldn't do it. They shouldn't, because it's a sign of immaturity. And once you see those things, those immature qualities, you just know that's probably not going to be a good wife. It's probably not going to be a good wife if they're petty, they're arguing, they're argumentative, even though, like, you can, if they're not able to, okay, I'll give you, an example. This is immaturity right here. Um, you remember when you were a kid, right? And as a kid, you got caught doing something, right? You and you were the only one that got caught doing it, right? And then the first thing you do, you'd be like, they were like, "Why did you do that?" You be like, "Well, little Johnny did it, so I thought I could do it too. I should do it too." No, that's very immature right there. That's a child. A child is deflected. Like, just like when and you can, and guys, and I know that jiggly jiggly will get you that. And let's just say you call the chick out, or the chick that you're dating, for some immature shit, and the first thing she does is try to throw somebody else under the bus, or men do it too, or all this bullshit. That's a definite sign of immaturity. That's a definite sign of immaturity. And and when you have an immature person that you're dealing with, especially in a marriage situation, which is a union between two people. A lot of times it's families. That's what it is. It's a union. It ain't no damn partnership. It's a union or merger of families. That's what a marriage is. And if you have one of the leaders of, or one of the people components of that, that has an immature soul, or not ready to be mature, not ready to grow, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to be a safe bet. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's just it's just not. And I'm not saying immaturity comes with age, because there's a lot of immaturity. There's a lot of immaturity. If Listen, okay, if you got a girlfriend that's participating in the silhouette challenge, if in the silhouette challenge, or any of these TikTok challenges with that's, I'm not saying that's a bad woman, but that right there is a huge sign of immaturity. It's a huge sign of them not being mature enough. It's like, there's levels to this shit. You graduate, and if they are still influenced and doing dumb shit like that, that's a key indicator that person's not, probably not marriage material. It's probably not a safe bet that this person is going to be a long, probably good in a marriage. And for the men, if you have a dude that's on TikTok or on the internet doing the goddamn crate challenge, that right there is a huge sign of immaturity. It's a huge sign of immaturity. Somebody that's very immature or not mature with themselves. So that's probably not going to be a good indicator that that person's going to be a good husband or a good, wife. Um, Honest, being honest and very respectful. Um, I think, infidelity. I think a lot. I mean, that's one of the biggest relationship killers. If not, finances is probably the the probably the biggest, but infidelity is a lot. Yeah, and the thing about it is it's, if you're not an honest wife and a respectful wife, and that has a huge amount of respect for your husband, um, doesn't look down on him, you know, and she's, you're very trustworthy. Um, you know that, I mean, that right there is worth its weight in gold. It's worth, being able to be trustworthy or honest or loyal or any of those type of characteristics is so important. You know how, like, for men, I think how soothing it is knowing that their woman is very trustworthy. You know, very trustworthy, and they can, trust them in many environments. But the thing about it is we live in a generation where the fuckery is so pronounced. The fuckery is so pronounced. There's so many. Um, there's just so many things that get promoted. Uh, toxic behavior. One thing I saw the other day was there was this thing. I think it was Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan has this thing called hotels or some shit, and they were hotels, um, and basically she's talking about, basically like bullshit. I mean, I don't even know. I think she's very popular amongst the ratchets now or something like that. I don't know what the fuck. But anyways, so I guess in the comment section, um, these women came out of the woodworks, saying, you know, very trifling shit. Women, having sex with the dude's cousin or some shit like that. Just trifling, just disrespectful stuff. And just but one of the things that I kept probably I was kept being conscious about is like, no, I mean, I think I read, yeah, I went and read some of the comments, and one of the words that you rarely hear was husband. um husband, um husband, wife, those type of things. You don't hear those type of you didn't hear that type of rhetoric at all. Because the thing about it is usually, like, those women that get off on that toxic shit, and oh, I'm finessing this, like they're telling their hotels and all this type of stuff. One of the sad things is they rarely ever get married, because one, I know women are cunning, women are very manipulative and all this type of stuff. One thing that a lot of dudes know, and I think that's why a woman doesn't understand why this guy won't marry her. Um, why this guy won't marry her? He'll be like, "Well, we got kids. We're in a 10-year relationship, but she's probably not a good bet for a wife. But I'll keep her around because what I don't think a lot of women know, because I think they're so used to moving in a world that they get pacified, is if once a man senses that you're untrustworthy, and you're dishonest, and you're not respectable, there's a threat that you will disrespect them. Most of the time they're not going to put no damn ring on you. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. They're not going to put a ring on you. They're just not going to do it. They might keep you around if you have their kids. They might have sex with you if they have their kids. But if they deem you as untrustworthy, meaning that, I understand, like, some women are in some toxic relationships. They go out there and they do their thing, and the man knows about it. They keep coming around or whatever. Yeah, they might take you back, but the thing about it is for them to take it to the next level and put a ring on it and claim you, introduce you to the family, and merge and put all that investment in you. If they don't feel like you're trustworthy and honest, they're not going to do it. Most men are not going to do it. And the thing about it is 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 men, th- that is a if you early in life find a woman that you feel in your heart that is trustworthy, that is honest, that is respectful, that is loyal, keep her. Keep her. If not, just take her and keep her, and because the thing about it is the the older you get, the more jaded you're gonna get. The more you're gonna get through. These women that you can feel in your heart, that that your gut tells you whatever. These are women are hard to find. They're hard. They're extremely hard to find. They're extremely hard to find because uh, you gotta, I mean, you gotta get them early. You gotta vet them. I mean, you gotta get them early, vet them early, because a lot of times, and I'll be honest, is like once they've had a couple broken hearts and their innocence, they what's once was a trustworthy woman, you won't be able to trust them out of out of a brown paper bag. I mean, listen, it's a very important quality, man. It's a very important quality, but uh, and 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 the thing about it is a lot of people are just not, and I'm talking about women. It's just not wife material. It's just not wife material. It's just and I think when men, you'll make better choices when you can pick up on that shit real fast. Once you can pick up on it, if she's an honest, trustworthy woman, which there's not a lot. I mean, let me put this. Uh, because they'll say, because the quick response would be, and I was listening to this guy named Laurel last night. He was like, they have this notion that, um, you know, you know, this woman will be all these good things to the guy that they like. No, not necessarily. Not no, not at all. Now, if you lie, you steal. If you steal, you kill. That's it. I mean, there's no way around it. Um, just like when Kevin Samuels has these things where uh, she'll only smile at the guys she likes. She'll only be feminine when it suits her. No, it doesn't work like that. If you're a woman that lacks integrity, if you're a woman that lacks, I mean, respect, you don't respect yourself. You let people objectify yourself. You're just not a safe bet. You're just not a good bet. But anyways, man, shout out to Sir Ism, man. I'm about to get off of here, man. I've been talking for an hour, and I did the show. I did the show, man. Shout out to Misha for coming through. This actually shows you where we're at in the manosphere. It really, 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 and I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. The fact that I just did a show, and I just did a show about what a good wife looks like. Even though you might not like my perspective, but very few people wanted to know what a good uh, life looks like. And the thing about it is uh, you start to wonder why people prefer junk food. You feel me? Versus you know, um, you know, good food. Because in content creators are not incentivized to make content like this. When it comes in a relationship genre, it's more about the salacious bullshit. But it's and the thing is I'm gonna start viewing this type of content as more of a business thing, because the whole concept of marriage and finding a good wife, that's an investment. It's very an investment. It's not just about the relationship when it comes to that, because I think um because if you go on YouTube right now, you'll probably go in all these, these chat rooms that got 100 deep right now, that have, a salacious topic and salacious commentary, people arguing and all this type of bullshit, right? Um, and it's a circular argument. I'm not even gonna lie. I engage in the fuckery too. I've engaged in the fuckery for a while. I understand it. It's very it's very entertaining, but it's also draining too. Shout out to Mace Taggart again. But I was looking at what do you call it? I was at what's the name's uh chat, no, not chat. what's yeah, Mace Taggart last night, and there was a couple people, man. They said that they've got the YouTube kind of burn out, and some of this information and some of this rhetoric that we are consuming is definitely changing our perspective. It's definitely making our opinions of each other completely more jaded. I mean, like last night, I mean, yesterday morning, I woke up, right. I listened and I went on Platinum's thing. I turned on Platinum's thing, and then I hear this lady, Tabitha, talking, and to me, I've heard her a couple times. To me, she's like probably, I don't even know. I mean, she makes my stomach turn up and upside down, like when I listen to her. Um, and the what's so appalling about her per se is the fact that she probably has access to a lot of young women and probably gives a lot of advice, like aunt. She's probably an aunt to women. She's probably got daughters. She's probably got all this type of stuff. And when you listen to her and you listen to the rhetoric that comes out her mouth, and you and then you realize there's a whole generation of these women that are guiding a lot of the women of this culture. I have a son, and I'm like, God, because the the and Kevin Samuels fights with these women all the time, and they argue against the end result of of what's going on. uh they blame shift, they move the goalposts, they do this, they do that. It's I mean, it's so appalling sometimes when you just see that this lady's like 45 years old or whatever, and then she thinks that basically she's born again. She's born again. She basically is born again. She can she has the same value that she had, when she was 18, basically, and the what's so appalling about her is the fact that she is subconsciously trying to poison other women with her delusion, that she doesn't even realize it. And the thing about it is you can't even blame a lot of these women, especially when you see on social media, because they have a gang of aunties, they have a gang of mothers, they have a gang of cousins, they have a gang of 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 family members, they have a gang, like, I mean, all the imagery. I mean, they see imagery all day. They see imagery all day. They hear music all day. They see social media posts all day about, like, they have all the time in the world. They can do whatever they want to do. They can, they can be, they can be Angela Bassett. They can be 60 and somebody's supposed to, um, you know, save them or whatever. And it's not really their fault. It's how they've been conditioned. And what's appalling about it is you have, um some of these dudes that are so thirsty, and they want a piece of action so bad that they will pretty much pacify this behavior. They'll co-sign this behavior, for the short term. And the problem is you prolong this way of thinking. You prolong this way of thinking, by them, the more men that do that. If anything, you make it worse. They go on a downhill spiral because, uh, that 45-year-old, that still looks good, still is in shape or whatever. and then she probably sexually experienced, so you got a dude to be like, man, I want to hit that, and because she's probably gonna be a good experience, but I have no, because I know she's probably stuck in her ways. She's probably not a good long-term solution, but I'll I'll stick. I mean, I'll still have a great night with that. You feel me? I'll still have a great night with that. Mm. And 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 then it and it never goes anywhere. And like a woman like that has a collection of those guys. She has a collection of them. She has a collection of them. They're in her inbox all day long. But when you build up those defenses, when you build up that pride, that's why she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got all these men and blah blah blah, and I can, I got all these men that that man might buy you, send you some money and shit like that, and you might have like 4 or 5 of those guys in a rotation. So, but the one of the problems is this is the one that she probably desires to replace all 5 of those guys probably won't even mess with her, won't even do anything. And that's a very hard pill to swallow. That's a very hard pill to swallow for a lot of these ladies, man. It's a hard pill to swallow. And and they take out that anger and frustration on men in general, and then they also take that frustration on poisoning other women. They just poison other women. That's why you have uh this vitriolic state where I was watching Tanya TKO, right? um Jessica X did a video about her, and I just it was almost that, oh my god, it was almost satanic to listen to her. She said that she basically said it in her mouth and didn't put proper context to it, right? So she's one of those feminists, get the bag, black man ain't shit, we divesting, blah blah blah, we hate men, and you know and she comes from that school of thought, that total school of thought, like basically men are usable commodities, like we ain't shit, we're supposed to, women are supposed to use us until to fulfill their need, we just exist for them to be liberated, to have sex with, and for us to pay their bills. This is the mindset a lot of these women have, right? They should be able to you know, um, twerk it up, just do degenerate mistakes and all this type of stuff, like anti-wife, whatever. Anyways, she said that because I guess Texas did a law with oh, shout out, oh,
Yeah,
what it
Triple
do?
Black.
I'm in the
How
building,
you
man.
doing?
Man,
Oh
what it, bro?
man, oh, I ain't doing nothing, man. Just taking care of business. I'm back
Yeah,
down here in H Town, back over here in the bull market, getting ready to go get some shit done down here. Just
yeah,
had to I see you was live, and I said, let
yeah,
me come
man.
holler at Triple Black. Regardless, we disagree, Triple Black. You know I still fuck with you, man.
No doubt, man. For real, for sure, man. For sure, man. But now I'm just talking about, what does a good wife look like? And I was just
Now,
like,
what does a
damn,
good wife look like?
what
A
does a
good
good wife
wife
look like?
Good wife is a wife that you make her, man. You in charge of her, man. I don't know
No,
why y'all guys be running around here thinking that woman gonna come to you perfect. She's not supposed to come to you perfect. She's lower
no,
self, you higher self. So you have to complete herself to the high, and then she's the balance. That's the
no.
pH balance in the game of life. So,
I mean, but
it's not
there's
hard
a,
out here.
I mean, the reason I made this thing is I think there are certain characteristics that because men, talk about, the like 80% divorce, women initiating these divorces and stuff like that. But well, the thing is don't you think? there's a problem with the way that men vet women nowadays in the first place
Absolutely, it's
to
a
be
problem the
married.
way men vet women because a
Right.
woman is a helpmeet. So you know why women are divorcing men?
Hmm.
Because they're not helping that man.
Right.
They're not helping him. So they don't feel like they're a
Exactly.
part of the process. So they're
Right.
gone and they supposed to
Right.
go.
Right.
See these athletes, you know what I'm saying, or whoever, you want to get these women and they can't help you in shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
See,
And
they got to
that
do
was one.
more than they help you with raising babies. They got to be able to help you with your marketing or help you with your social media network or help you with your accounting, help you with those little things and things like that.
Right.
So she need to be helping your business grow. If she's not helping your business grow, you need to say no to that particular no good whatever it be.
Right.
Anything low chakra that comes to a woman's mind. If you ain't in the business of helping a man, you know what I'm saying, you need to go back and reevaluate your plan as a woman. You understand me? Because you is a
Right.
woman, you come from the inside of a man, and okay, the man's in charge of what the sex is in the chromosome after chromosome game. The man either shoots out X or he shoots out the Y. So I don't know why in the hell you women thinking y'all all this. Hell, you ain't even because what you are is from a man. While you a woman coming from a man. That is the science and technology of this game. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
man. No,
I
go ahead, bro.
apologize. I
Go
mean,
ahead,
yeah,
man.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, no, go ahead, man. I've been monologuing for like an hour.
Oh well, you can just throw some questions at me then, man. That's in your
Yeah,
mind, man. That
man.
you want to get done, you know.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Anything, knock them
No,
bitches
no,
out the park.
I was talking about because I was going through some bullet points of what a good wife looks like. And one of the things is, and there's some certain indicators, and you hit on one. Is she willing to sacrifice to
Oh
prop
yeah.
you up? That's a very important thing.
Well, she already know that if she sacrificed to prop you up, then and you go out there and you win, she's gonna reap all the benefits and rewards of the W.
Right.
Women say, "I'm the prize, I'm the prize, I'm the prize." No, no, yeah, a little bit, but I'm the prize fighter. I got to go out
Hmm.
here and whip that ass. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So you can get the rewards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it
Yeah.
is however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? You know it is what it is. I ain't
Hmm.
getting into the semantics of the bullshit, but I got to go in for you to
Right.
even reap the benefits of it.
Yeah, I mean, I use an example. I'll use another example. It's like if let's just say, you have a woman and then you be like, man, you know what, we got this business, I got to get this investment, I got to buy this truck, baby, we gotta eat beans and rice for 6 months so I can save this money, and you can't go out, you can't get your nails done, you can't do all this, all the money that we gonna get, we need to put towards so we can get this business. If she balks at that, is there any chance that she will be a good wife?
If she balks at you trying to give her a plan for prosperity in the human experience, and she balks at that, man, you better get her. You tell her get the fuck out. You ever come back, I'll never want to see you a motherfucking again. Cause you is the
Right.
devil. You is the set in my lens, in my eyes. Sorry, you might. Cause see, I'm gonna tell you something. My grandmama told me a long time ago, ain't no such thing as no bad woman. What you mean? That bad woman for your ass. It might be the nigga right next door
Hmm.
that get her and make her whole. See what I'm saying? You
Right.
ain't the one that make her whole. You might have all the characteristics of making her whole, but it's something in her soul that don't want to open up to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can
man.
have, that's actually what's wrong with these niggas is getting dumbed and tricked on.
Hmm.
Actually I got it right there. See, you don't put women on missions. You don't put women on tests. You don't know nothing about it. You just sit up in here and just accept whatever they got,
Right.
thinking you blessed because he fine. Man, you
Right.
crazy as fuck. Because you're looking
Yeah.
at the attributes. You looking at the booty and the duty. You ain't looking at the attributes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is she's willing to do your duty?
Right. Yeah, so I think, in my opinion, she has to be able to make sacrifices. You know, if and
Yeah,
the thing about it,
small sacrifice mean that, man, okay, I might be in a spot, right? And I ain't got no house down here, but I might have a monthly.
hmm
But we coming down to this monthly, and we gonna close this door, and we fisting the goddamn meat, and I fisting to orientate, and you fisting to what? And you fisting to take dictation on this orientation I'm putting down for this specific literature I need to go down. Soon as we get through with this literature, we're gonna submit the literature. We might be in this monthly. We might be in this monthly for about 3 months. Soon as that motherfucker come back with that lick, then we gonna go on and go. Then we're gonna go and say, baby, go on that thing, go find that house. I ain't going. You go find it. You know what I like, and I'm gonna tell you what attributes I want. I want to have this. I want to add that for my ass, and then the rest of that shit you can find for yourself.
right,
Okay, you know. So I need, and then if it got the space enough inside of it to do it, we're gonna go show me, and then I look at it and observe it, and we get it. So that's the
mm,
sacrifices I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because you got sometimes women ain't trying to go be in no monthly. They're not trying to go be in that. But I ain't in the monthly because I need to be. I ain't in the monthly because I want to be. In monthly because I need to be because I got to be in here to handle my business so I can go on to my next thing is getting a house. I ain't trying to do. I ain't trying to rent nothing. So we gonna have
right,
this place already catered for us and ready to go, so we can hit this lick and get on.
hmm
But then you gotta know how to. But then the thing is, you niggas can't sell worth a fucking damn. Okay, that's when the ABC, that's when the boiler room mindset come on. You always be closing. That's why I talk the way I talk now. I'm closing, bruh. Every time
right,
I speak, I'm speaking with a Mahaka root. That means I'm closing on something. Either I'm closing you to get the fuck out of my life, or I'm closing you to preach something in your life to make you better. I'm closing something, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm closing negativity, opening up positivity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm closing you out of my life, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get the fuck on. Cause you ain't comprehending what I'm saying. I got to go. So I'm closing for the good, or I'm closing to get the fuck on. That's it.
always be closing, man. I haven't heard that term in a long time.
Hey
Always
man.
be closing,
Oh,
yeah.
oh
But
yeah.
yeah,
That's
man,
when you macking with a woman, man. When you trying to holler at a woman, you always be closing.
yeah,
Shit.
man.
Always be closing. Shit.
No, I did this with the listen to, because I listened to Sir Ism, and we had this conversation, and the thing about it is,
Oh yeah, shout out to Sir is a man with the win with the Los Angeles Raiders. Shout out to that shit,
yeah,
man. That was
yeah.
a good win.
I was just like, because we had the conversation of why so many people make, this mindless bullshit manosphere shit, this salacious, manosphere bullshit, because and you see, like, because I was like, man, you know what, people get rewarded for fuckery. you know People don't want to hear any positive shit. you know People don't want to hear you know productive stuff. People want to hear low vibrational shit. That's why people that can manage that type of content gets rewarded. And I just made it, and I've been on here for an hour, and I probably might have had like one or two in the box. What I'm saying? What does a good wife look like? Motherfucker do not want that shit, man. They don't like that shit. Shout out to Sheila E. You
Who
know,
don't like it? Yeah, yeah, Sheila E. Yeah,
yeah,
Sheila
but
E.
I mean, for
Yeah,
for
me and
every
her got into it. Me and her got into it.
for
I had to
every
mash on her.
for
Mm.
every 100 person, because you like, a uh let's just say I can make a stream about the best twerkers and put whatever. And you're probably gonna have a lot of like people in there looking at it, but yeah, be like, hey, you know what is the how to finance a car properly? um Most people probably ain't gonna look at that shit. Most
Oh,
people
you
ain't
know
gonna
how
look.
you finance a car properly?
What?
First thing you need to know about a car loan is, that 5 or 10, 20%.
Mhm.
That's per year, right? You know that, right, Triple Black?
Right,
That's per year,
right.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So that's the first thing you need to know before you finance a car. All right.
Right,
So now, yeah, because you might be in some trouble. You might just need to finance the car. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, shit, you might be able to pay that stuff. So, key is when you finance a car, whatever it costs, shit, pay that motherfucker off in a year. So, you only paying that
right.
that 20% on that year.
Right. Yeah, because you end up paying, like, for instance, if you do like a 72-month like finance, sometimes you end up paying twice as much for the car
Yeah, you're
because of
gonna
the
pay
compound
double.
interest. Yeah, you're gonna play double.
Yeah,
You're gonna pay double.
I did my, cause
Right.
I learned that on my own when I was inkering on the car back in 2005. I said I
Yeah.
did the math, and I said this math don't add up.
Most people don't even know if you do like
And
bi-weekly payments.
and but the
Bi-weekly
key is
payment.
I made the finance guy did not want to tell me this, but I put it in his mouth. I said, you don't tell me you ain't getting no sale. I,
Yeah,
he had to tell me. Oh, it's
yeah,
by the year. Oh, well, thank you. You still ain't getting no sale. Hung the phone up in him. I learned a valuable lesson. That didn't mean I went in and financed cars again and shit, but I knew that that's what they doing. It's per year
yeah,
on the car.
yeah. Bi-weekly payments. I mean, you'll pay your car off like an average. I think like a sometimes 2 years early. If you
Yep.
make additional payments, you know what I'm saying. You can pay your because what you're trying to do is you're trying to pay down the principal. The
Right.
faster you can pay down the principal, the faster you can pay off that loan. But again, that right
And then that's the
there,
slickest way to build up your credit too.
right,
It's the
right,
greatest way to build up your credit too. As an example, say you making some good money, man. Say you making $100,000, but your credit
mhm,
fucked up. So
right,
all you go do, go find you go find a motherfucker, go find the lender. He ain't got to be a big time
right,
car lender. A middle car lender that reports to the bureau every month like the big boy. Walk in that motherfucker and goddamn me, give him $1,000 down, $2,000
hmm,
down. Make sure the car ain't no more than 10 grand.
right,
And man, at every month, pay a grand on that hoe every month. For like 5 months, pay a grand on that hoe. When you get to that day, you done got 7 grand into the car, you take your ass back up at that bitch and say, okay, how much can I get for the car? Walk off with it.
yeah,
That's, then you don't pay that car off. You go on. Then you probably gonna want you another car. Well, shit, your credit score done moved up by 50, 60 points. Take that damn car and take it on up to the upper echelon and get what you really want.
hmm, yeah. Of course, man. I mean, the thing about it is, this is the thing. It's about sacrifice, man. I know
Yeah.
people want to ride clean, but if you live like, if you live 4 miles away from your job, right, and you work all the time, you know what I'm saying? You work all the time, and let's just say you got a family too. I mean, do you really need a $500 or $600 car payment where you could have just, bought maybe something cash for a car, and and ran that bitch till the wheels fall off and saved all that money. You could have put you could have put that 600,000. I mean, that $600, that extra $500, like, into some type of investment each month. You know, But we live in a culture where you want to replace, you want to impress people, you want to, ride, ride. I mean, if you can handle the shit, yes. But think about it, man. If you live right around the corner from your job, where you work from home, why the hell do you have a, $50,000 Lexus? Huh? Prince, we ain't there. But anyways, man, I just got on that little rant, man. But shout out to Juan G's, man. Shout out to Juan G's. Shout out to Sheila E. The Quiet Storm. I gotta subscribe. I don't even know how to subscribe to that channel, man. But no. But back what I was talking about is the the low vibrational salacious shit pays, especially on YouTube. That low vibrational shit um pays like a motherfucker on YouTube. It pays like a motherfucker on YouTube. Like,
Yeah. They be
Prince
trying to
Prince
get
Pe-
me
Prince
into them.
Prince
Go ahead.
Prince Pe- Prince people just talking about credit, right? You know, I ran a credit repair company, right? I can run a show, right? I can run a show, and I can show uh a couple tricks like that on how I can run a live stream on it. A couple of tricks on how to improve their credit or what steps they need to take on their credit. I guarantee you, I will guarantee you, barely anybody would be in that bitch. And I bet you anybody in that bitch. But if you put a salacious topic, you'll have a whole bunch of motherfuckers that probably need to be in my stream in somebody else's stream with fucking badass credit. But just because the topic and the salaciousness and the bullshit and the fuckery is fun, they rather be there. You feel me?
Yeah, because they don't, because they low chakra.
Right.
Dumbass. I have more fun. I don't talk. I might come in here and I let y'all talk low.
Hmm.
And women try to come at me with that low chakra, and no, I'm not trying to rehash nothing. But if you had seen what I done over the past weekend, some person didn't know my personality. They didn't know that I don't play the game. I don't talk that sexuality. I'm a heterosexual, so I don't need to talk what I naturally walk to be. I think sex is action. So Prince Pierre ain't gonna be on here talking about how I do with the woman or what I'm doing with situations with a woman. I'm talking about high self. So what happens is a lot of these damn fools, they don't think they're gonna get no money no way. They don't really have no plan on how to get the cash any damn way. They got a trick mindset. So why not talk sex if I got a trick ass mindset? Because you ain't gonna do nothing to trick the money off any damn way. Either you're gonna
Hmm.
trick the money off with the bitch, or you're gonna trick the money off with society's bitch. So I don't give a damn about whatever switch and whatever glitz and whatever's the shit. So you bitch ass niggas need to sit up and sit down and shut the fuck up fucking with me. I don't give a fuck about what kind of tree you on. Some of you niggas on a tree on a tree of low. I'm on the tree of life, nigga. So at the end of the motherfucking day, you just need to realize some people high, some people low, and that's what they're gonna
Hmm.
gravitate to. So they need to get on and get rich, just get on and get with it though. Cause but I ain't gonna judge nobody. If y'all talking
Right.
that and I'm on the panel, I'm gonna be mute. Or somebody come up there asking me about the shit, I'm gonna tell you I don't talk that shit here. Shit. Ain't your business
There's
what
a
I do in the bedroom.
no. You know what the thing about it is, in this space, sometimes I think to me, we can have fun. I mean, there's a time and a
Yeah.
place to have fun. There's a time and a place to come. We got Sheila E, the
Hey,
the Quiet
Triple, hey Prince.
Storm.
What's going on, Sheila E?
How you doing? No, you talking some good stuff, Triple, because it is like a lot of negativity. And when you promote positive stuff, it's not a lot of people, in the chat and stuff like drama cells. But like I tell you, by the end of the day is just do it anyway. Cause somebody, if you touching one or two person, whatever you doing
Right.
on your piano is not in vain, because it's not about likes and views. It's about teaching. Each one teach one. And a lot of people need to hear that.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
my channel's 100% about. I teach people about the true essence of the game of America's game, and I use America on purpose to strike nerves with you cats, and I use it to try to get wins with the cats because I went outside of New Buffalo, New York, and showed them folks that don't look like us. I just showed them my stuff. Damn women talking, damn girl talking. They want me to come to the school and do a lecture about what I'm talking about. See, I'm in it for the. See, y'all want to fight them with guns. I want to fight them. I want to fight them with them giving me they God and God we trust. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Hmm
be able to charge them $100,000. You know what I mean? For me to show up and do a show. Y'all want to go get a gun and shit. Man, you better get them, man. What other you talking about this tricking? Y'all better know who's the number one trick in the world, and that is that the show ain't us. So you need to go on over there and make them trick on you with them gods and God we trust. Man, I'm gonna say it this way: it ain't about us. It ain't about. I mean, about black folks valuing no dollar bill. Who values the dollar bill? Get plenty of them in your hand and get the resources, and you will have free will. That is the sovereignty of America, man. It's financial sovereignty. It's the only sovereignty you're gonna get. So you think you're gonna get up in here and punk the man into giving you reparation? You can get the fuck up and get the fuck out and go on and repack. Go
But
on and
Prince,
repack.
I like what you said because I'm upstate New York. I'm not far from Buffalo, New York, and we
Hmm.
more like country and set back.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about
Yeah, I was just
generation
up there.
wealth. Yeah,
I just through there.
I ran for board education and city council. I'm in politics and stuff, and
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I set a little laws and everything like that. Like my youngest daughter, she have her own trucking business and stuff, and my
Okay.
oldest one doing her
Yeah.
clothesline and cooking stuff like that. Like my family, we have um our own like barber shops and restaurants and stuff like that.
Okay.
So in this generation now, because you have kids raising kids, they're not teaching them about generation wealth. They're
No.
not teaching them. The woman's not teaching their daughters how to be wise. And it's just certain things that I'm
You
from
gotta be a
generation
wife to
old.
teach wife. You gotta be it to
Yeah.
teach it.
I mean, but this is the
It's
thing.
like
It's
me
like
teaching the alkaline diet, man, and I'm not eating 95% alkaline. I do 95% alkaline over here.
yeah.
So
But
I
the thing. Okay. This is what kills me about today's culture, right? When you just said what you said, Sheila E,
Hmm.
was teaching a woman how to be a good wife, right?
Hmm.
That right there, from because of the feminist ideology, that will that right there will have so much pushback. What if I don't want to be a wife? We ain't all supposed to get married. We ain't supposed to do this. It's like th- that the connotation that comes with that statement that you said is like bondage, controlling, trying to restrict you. You trying to restrict people's sex life. You are kind of restricting everything about the woman, like a woman, this. What you just said is very offensive, and it's been constructed that way, and they don't understand how much benefit when it comes to our community as a collective. If you know how to be a good wife, they don't. I mean, it's an immeasurable thing. That's why so many of these other communities. When's the last time you seen a broke Asian person or an
I
Arab
haven't.
person?
you're
I
not gonna see
haven't.
them.
Huh?
They're gonna have a business and they're
When's
gonna
the
put the
last time
kids
you
in the
seen a
business.
broke black person?
Always.
I
Matter of
know.
fact, I
That's what.
seen another day. I gave him a couple of dollars when I was
Right.
going at Walmart.
Well, I
But
didn't give a
but
guy
but
nothing because hold on, I get a perfect example. I was just over here in Baton Rouge, a nigga trying to run $2 game. I knew he was trying to run $2 game because I had a bag of pistachios in my motherfucking hand. He said, "What is those?" I said, "Pistachios." Kept on walking. He said, "Hey," I kept on walking. I ain't got nothing for that nigga. That nigga got tattoos on his face, bruh. That means you was afforded this tattoos on your face.
right,
You afforded, yes, you deserve to be the condition you in. No this to you, nigga. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because your ass, you can't walk in no place and get no motherfucking employment.
right.
So I'm
And
just,
Prince, I apologize to when I had came up to Mate's channel or whatever. It wasn't, I apologize. But you know what I see a lot here, and correct me, my brothers, if y'all think I'm wrong. We justify people behavior, who we like, who we don't like. If I say
Oh
something
yeah.
y'all don't like, and I don't care if you don't like me, Triple or Prince, put me in my place because
Right.
I'm due for correction. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So don't justify my mess because you like me. You don't want me to get mad. And that's why I see here, not just on YouTube, in everyday life. When we see
Hmm.
bad behavior, we don't correct that person or it ain't what you do, it's how you do it, put them to the side or whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't see that no more.
You know what? I try to practice it. I try to practice it. I mean, that's why, maybe I have a reputation, someone on these streets, on these YouTube streets, because you know what? If I don't fuck with it, I'm gonna be the first to let you
Mhm.
know. To that.
right.
I'll give you an example. I remember one time, and I don't even know if you were there, right?
Mhm.
I was in Platinum's room, right? And Platinum, and I remember this because the reason that this guy just came up to my head, right? So this guy was like, they were talking about, if basically promoting, like, if a woman's married and she wants to have sex with you, or that you should do it. And then, you got all these, these guys, these young guys, like, was it James Keel and all these guys, talking, oh yeah, we should. And
Oh
then
yeah, oh kicks.
Platinum's promoting. I'm like,
No, you
first
don't
of
do
all,
that. Nah.
I went up there. I was like, bro, if you are willing to sleep with another man's wife, and then all these niggas co-signing this shit, and I was like, fuck that. I was like, that says a lot about you. That says that's you the type of nigga I don't need to fuck with. Period. Like, if you sitting
Yeah, you
here
know the
talking about,
woman's married. Go
you
ahead.
know the woman's fucking married. He's like, I don't got no obligation to him. She give me. I'm like, and then these niggas just started to argue. It'd be like, oh no, what do you mean?
So I
What does
was in
that
the
say about
class.
you? What does that say about you as a person? If you're willing to do, I'm
No,
not
you
trying to
have
call him out.
standards, Triple.
You,
You have standard and
Right.
morals, and that
I
say a
mean,
lot about
if
you.
you had a homeboy that operated on that type of low vibrational thing, can you trust that nigga as far as you can throw him?
No.
I put you see, but let me tell you something, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh, when a woman know that you liberated her, she ain't gonna do it. Because a
Right.
real man know how to talk to a woman. Say, you
Right.
always give her that reminder, not even about her cheating. You might watch a movie and you see somebody cheating. And then you might see the scenario why he cheating and shit. And see, you niggas got to be teaching your women while y'all watching TV, old ass
Right.
niggas.
Mm, right.
Shit. Y'all watching that bullshit ass show. This man ain't worth a damn. That woman cheat on that nigga. You know he ain't worth a damn. Then you say, oh, okay. Well, what you learn from that?
Hmm.
Ah, that man was on some bullshit. Woo. And then you say, well, is Prince Pierre on some bullshit? Nah. Well, I better not never hear about you cheating on me. Shit, I said, I'll never have to worry about you cheating on me. Then let's move on and go on back and kiss on that cheek or slow or do what y'all do on the hell. Whatever you niggas do. Shit, you niggas, man, got y'all niggas ain't properly inspired, motivating no PA female every motherfucking day. You niggas with the bullshit, with the cap. Woman need you, man, stop.
Yeah,
Stop. I
man.
ain't gonna go too far.
Nah, but I just use that example. I'm not saying what's the name to whatever. I was using that. I was just thinking that you got too many dudes that be so scared to try to fit in. They'll
Hmm.
be co-signing some fuck shit. I mean, you've heard me on it. I don't die. I be I be playing around or whatever. But when it comes to real fuck shit, I'm not ever gonna co-sign the shit. I'm never gonna do it. I can't do it. It's not right with my spirit. You feel me? And
Yeah, and
like,
that's what it's all about, Triple. Just be yourself. And
yeah,
the day is, you know what? If they don't like it, they don't like it. Because the end of the day is, you have to go to sleep and make sure you making your peace with God and making
right,
making sure you chew on your spirit, your mind.
right,
Because you know what? This ain't nothing but the devil playground. And you,
right.
somebody probably in the chat saying, "Wow, I be thinking the same thing," and I be under peer pressure and trying to fit in. No, just keep it real. You know.
Oh yeah. No, I try to keep it 100. That's why I be like getting into it with these dudes. Sometimes I be like, yeah, no. I was like, but listen, you're gonna learn. The thing is you're gonna run people into a burning building, especially in this generation where people listen to to stuff and internalize it. You don't know who that you when you don't know who you're influencing. And
Hmm.
some of the people that don't have their father around, they don't got their mother around, they don't got none of these, the structure, this influence around, and they go to the internet to get their information. They sometimes they believe this fuck shit. They believe it. They believe it. Like, okay, I'll give you another example. I was listening to Jessica X's thing. People can feel whatever she feel about it, right?
Hmm.
And it was this lady, was it Tanya TKO? And she makes like Cynthia G type of commentary where it's just very vitriolic. Every day we hate black men and we can't stand black men, and it's a culture. It's we have the reverse in the manosphere, right? And I couldn't believe it. To me, it was almost satanic when I was
Hmm.
watching it. She was upset about I guess the new abortion laws in Texas. I guess They've banned these abortions after 6 weeks because I guess they can identify a heartbeat, which
Right.
signifies a human. I
Hmm.
don't care how you feel about it politically, right? She is actually was promoting that young boys at a certain age should start to get vasectomies.
Wow. Hold on 1 minute. Okay. Hold
Right.
on.
I could not believe what I was hearing because she's talking about like because I guess society and men are putting restrictions on female sexuality. She views that shit as female sexuality, that we should start snipping the nuts of our young boys.
Well, let me tell you something.
That's crazy.
Folks, who is this woman?
Tanya
Who is this
TKO
woman?
or Tasha TKO or some shit.
Okay, don't worry about it.
She's
I'm gonna pimp on her real good. I'm gonna pimp
oh
on her
my
real good. I'm gonna pimp
wow.
on her personally real good. I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you now. They're not gonna be. Y'all want somebody to smash on the bitch. I am a Formula One caddick. I was verbally, and I'm talking about a debater. I knock her. I destroy her whole platform. She will never make another red goddamn dime in this goddamn town. She better
No,
get
she
out of the YouTube town before sundown.
no, I mean, but no, I was
You don't like if you don't like men, bitch, you better get your bitch ass and shut your bitch ass up.
no, she
I don't
has an
need you running your motherfucking mouth. I don't need her running her mouth. You talking about trying to take the life out of the man and give life to the world. Nah, bitch, you better get your motherfucking ass away from around here. So that's when I guess when I smash on the bitch. Unrighteous, no good hope.
Can I say
but
something, guys?
go ahead.
You know what? And I had a lot of pushback from a lot of girls on YouTube because I advocate for our black males in my community, and
Oh, I need a
I'm being
sign.
honest. When it comes to police brutality, when it comes to different things for our black males in school, whatever, I mean, they was doing everything they can against our black males. I
No,
mean, and I'm being honest, y'all go through a lot. Y'all really go through a lot. So
Make a copy for me.
when I came here on
Yeah,
YouTube and I seen the stuff they was saying, it just grieved my spirit. It really did.
my bad.
And and I was like, wow, because I got a grandson now. He 4. At the time, I didn't have no grandson. I got nephews and stuff who I advocate for. Just y'all leaving the house is not guaranteed y'all going to come back. So for them using us against y'all, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with nothing when it comes to our black male because in the day is y'all made America what it is today. And
no,
don't y'all
it's
ever forget that. Don't y'all ever forget that. Y'all the most hated and loved out of all the groups. Let me tell
but
you.
again, I mean, this is history, and if you told the average, like that woman, right? Basically, niggas ain't shit. We ain't never did shit, but when when they brought blacks over here, you might be on a plantation, you might have 20 to 1, you know, slaves to plantation owners. Like, I mean, who was building the houses? Who were the blacksmiths? Who built the
And
White
that's
House?
a lie because
Like,
majority of us was already here. Now you do the research. How you gonna bring so many on the boat from Africa to the United States?
I, you know, the Caribbean. I believe all the in the Caribbean, but in Americas, yeah, I believe that there was probably
Hmm.
black people here. But anyways, if I mean, this nation was built off the backs of certain industries,
Hmm.
certain people, and the fact the people that look just like us but just a
Hmm.
different gender can't bring it to themselves to respect us as a collective. It's crazy. It's crazy. It to me is mind boggling how, like, sometimes you be listening to that women that have a black father that had a good life and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and their father was hard working or whatever, but they wouldn't even look in the direction as the same. I mean, like, somebody that has the same background as their father. They feel like they're better than that guy. They can do better than that guy. That's crazy to me.
I know a lot of ones I grew up with was like that too. They didn't want their husband to be a blue collar. Well, my father was a blue collar, but it's sad
Right.
though. It's
Yeah.
sad. Mm-hmm.
I mean, so you mean to tell me? I mean, but the thing about it is most of the millionaires. I mean, if you told one of these level up, I get the bag, spend my money, I do whatever I want to do. Majority of the millionaires that are coming up right now are blue collar. A lot of people don't even understand that shit.
That's right.
They're blue collar guys. A lot of the million, because those guys, they have high paying jobs. They might not be some of the most respected, from the, get the bag culture, but there's dudes that are, trucking, which is a blue collar job in my opinion.
Mhm.
There's people that
Mhm.
are working on oil rigs and all those type of stuff, which they live in modest lifestyle, but they're probably savers, and they're becoming millionaires. And a lot of people don't get that. They just see the glitz and glamour, and it's very unfortunate, though. It's very unfortunate because what you were saying earlier about um, what, like, how to be a good wife and all this type of stuff. That type of stuff can change the whole complexity of, was it the 44 million people that we have, representing us in this country. With over, was it two? Was it now? It's probably like 2 trillion. I mean, with all that new money that got pumped in the economy, it was 2 trillion that this small amount of people were circulating in the economy. It's probably even more now. Imagine if we had like just a 10% incremental change to where we had 10% more families, more or 10% uh, better functional relationships, 10% more, less, dysfunction, and, baby mama drama, those little incremental changes that we could make within our community. Imagine how much result that we can yield from that. But, the thing about it is like, people that have been raised on dysfunction are comfortable in dysfunction. How do you even change that mentality, though? Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here, man.
How do
You
you
said
even?
what you said.
I mean, if you is dysfunction, like, for instance, there's like certain women out there right now, and I've seen videos of this. She said that
I'm
she
gonna,
can get a good dude, but he has to have some toxic, like, he's boring. He's boring. She needs
well, I just
that
said,
dysfunction.
I said
That
it.
shit is
I said it out the
crazy.
top. You know why she's bored? Because the good dude don't have no mission for the bitch. Let's get to the point.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. You can't take this woman's service matter that she do and make it work for you. Make it work for us. That's why she bored. When that woman got to get out there and go do something, get your shit and bring it motherfucking back. That's why I respect the pimping. See, the key to the pimping is low chakra. But one thing they know, that woman better get out there and go do that bit and bring that shit back. That means in real life, shit. My grandmama and goddamn granddaddy, they were together. They was going out there getting houses. They was going out there doing foster homes together. They were flipping real estate. You motherfuckers, it's not goddamn me creating no businesses with your wife, motherfucker. Put our ass to fucking work. So she don't have no goddamn time to be worrying about what some other nigga talking about. She ain't got to
Right.
worry about what some other bitch ass hoe talking about.
Right.
Shit, I watched my goddamn granddaddy goddamn me rise up on a bitch, told that bitch, get out of my motherfucking house. And then you fucking up my wife, ho, get up out of here. And then grandmama ended up finding out some years later that bitch was on some fuck shit. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. So that's why, hell, you want to blame these women because he's boring. Yeah, because the bitch ass nigga ain't got no work for the bitch to do. Getting tired of you hoe ass niggas and these stupid ass bitches. She ain't supposed to stay with no nigga that can't make her better, bro. That can't give her no life inside of her, nigga. Y'all want women to goddamn me stand. I'm not for the bitch. Fuck you hoe ass niggas. I'm for this game. That's why I'm talking like I'm talking, because I already know what niggas thinking before you even utter that bullshit. I ain't talking cowboys, I ain't talking sports, and I ain't talking pop culture. I'm talking about some real shit, which is the sex part of the goddamn game, which is the goddamn female male dynamic, or male female dynamic, however the fuck you want to put it in.
Hmm.
Get to the point,
Mhm.
man. Y'all not putting where the ghost can get it. Hell, a woman come up
So
to me and
what?
say,
So hold on, hold
he's
on, hold
good
on,
to
hold on,
me.
Prince. Hey,
He's
Prince,
good to
Prince.
me. I say, well, what the hell? What does inspire you to do for him? What you do for him? I really don't do nothing. Well, get away from him. You
I'm
can't
gonna ask
make
you
his
something,
life
Prince
better.
and
Get away
Simple.
from him.
I'm gonna ask
I'm
y'all
good.
something. I'm gonna ask y'all something. How y'all feel the woman's married and they got a fiance? They getting up here talking on these pins about this sex life. Ain't that the place where you supposed to keep that private in the bedroom?
Hell no, you don't talk your damn sex life on it, but that's them.
That's
They not
right.
supposed to do that, but that's
That's
them.
right.
And I'm just not fishing. They won't be whoever them people is. They will not be on my platforms. They don't have no reason. I don't fuck with them. So all I
Right.
do, I don't give a
Mhm.
damn. You got your own life to live. See,
Mhm.
if some of these folks, who is these people, don't even tell me because if I tell me, I'm gonna go on my show and land based on their whole ass.
Oh no,
Some of these people,
I was just saying, Prince. I was just
I'm just
saying
saying, I
because
don't need to know who these
You
people
know,
is. I don't even fuck about
no,
these low life
no,
motherfuckers.
I was just putting in general because Generation X is like how we when we was growing up. It's just how you present yourself, the way you dress, and just different things or
right?
whatever. It's like now everything goes. Everything goes. Like
Man,
I
how it
mean,
used
if
to
I was
be.
married, I wouldn't be on no piano
Mm-hmm.
with y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's disrespecting my husband or whoever I'm with.
Right.
I'm now I'm single, whatever. It's just certain things you just don't do.
Yeah, you know
Man, I
what?
remember back in the day.
The bar, the bar has been low. I mean, like,
Okay, we had the
dude.
little nightclubs and shit back in the '90s and shit. And we
Hmm.
then they go in the nightclub and the girls are act. They do what they do. They act how they gonna act in that setting. Get you all that low chakra activity out your ass. Come out that motherfucking house. But when you came out, you better not grab on her ass, nigga, outside that club, nigga, talking that shit. You better grab her by her hand or her shoulder or something, nigga. You better come with some down. It's time for you to spit that high chakra. You already done your low chakra. Now it's time to spit high so you can go on and get back to the low. Man, you got to dip with the, I ain't gonna say it. You got to dip with a bruh. And what I mean by dip, it ain't my invention. You better go holler at, you better go holler at that chick that woke that was a part of that chicken soup series, fool ass nigga. You got to dip, bruh. You got to go high, come down low, and take her back up high. You know what I'm talking about? And let her know why is the why and you is what it is. You dumbass niggas need to stop playing with this game and quit disrespecting yourself.
And y'all would put a woman in place too. Y'all be like, you know what, down, you need to go home and change your clothes. You know, back in the day, like in the 80s and 90s,
Hmm.
you were like, sis, they don't look right or whatever. And we were like, oh, really? Well, it wasn't never me, but I know a couple of guys. My brother said that to a girl, and I said, I tell her, and she'll go home and change her clothes. And we respect y'all for that. Now you tell a girl something like that, she'll curse you out.
Man,
Oh,
I wish I was back fried. I wish I was still hell. I wish I was still frying and dying in your head. At least it was your
Bro,
head.
bro,
Shit.
bro. I mean, I think you might get more vitriol from the men if you told a woman that. I think you might get more smoke from the men if you told a woman that. You
I don't
know?
give a fuck about what these hoe ass niggas talking about.
Yeah,
Fuck these hoe ass niggas.
yeah.
I'm for righteousness, nigga. The hell, the women come from me, bruh. So if you niggas want to get the women come from me. I just told you, nigga, the X and the Y, nigga. We either spitting out the X or the Y. That's who's racing to the motherfucking egg is the X or the Y, motherfucker. So I don't know why these hoe ass niggas is out here bowing down and submitting down like a bitch ass hoe ass clown to some woman, and that woman know you a clown when you do that hoe ass shit. So she have no reason to respect you at all.
No.
So you want a woman to respect bullshit. You want you, and then hell, and you want she don't respect me. She do all this other stupid shit and all this other shit. Nigga, you don't know nothing. You need to go back to the Sun book, bro. Genesis. Let's look at that shit and see do they represent today. You ain't gotta believe in a motherfucking thing that motherfucking book say. But if you ever see these bitches out here doing that shit today, I don't want to hear nothing about it. Now I say in the B
No.
word, put it where the ghost can get it to a goddamn inflict and convict a motherfucker hard to see what really it is out here, man.
Yeah.
This
Hey,
23 years of training for this shit.
I mean, Sheely, let me ask you a question. And a lot of women out there, they be complaining that dudes don't want to commit, but yet they, because of social media, a lot of times they display this. To me, that's just unloyal behavior. Sure, we might smash you, but if you're how I mean, I guess how did they even have the mindset? Like, let's just say if they have a twerk channel or a channel, where, taking pictures in lingerie, taking booty pictures and stuff like that. How do they even have like how? Why would they even expect a man to want to commit long term to that?
Be honest, some of them not. They're not
Okay,
because a decent man ain't gonna want his woman be showing her body and stuff like that.
right.
And will you take her home to your mother?
No, I don't. I don't. But the thing about it is the same woman that marginalizes that I can do what I want to do. I can do what I want to do. I can twerk where I want to twerk. She'll be the same one complaining about how there's no good men out here and no good men want to commit to her. And she does and she can't wrap her head around that men don't want to commit to women that exhibit those type of behaviors. And it's a very hard pill to swallow. They think that they can separate that. It's like if you're on there showing your body on the internet, imagine what you're doing in real life behind my back.
And the first thing gonna come to your mind, you can't make a hoe at a housewife.
Exactly. There you
That's
go.
I'm keeping it real.
Right.
That's the kind of. Let me tell you something. What I know about because I was married for 25 years, and one thing about a man, see, he wants somebody decent. He wasn't a lady in the streets and a hoe in the bedroom, a freak in the bedroom, and that's
Right.
gonna be his. What you do in your bedroom, it stays in your bedroom. He don't want a woman that everybody done had. So
No.
the end of the day is you catch her when she's young. Y'all build together and everything. If a guy gonna mess with somebody like that, he gonna mess with you undercover or have fun with the ready settle down with. He not gonna settle down with you.
No, but
No.
the yeah, but there is this delusional thing to where you'll have one of these women that have all these suckers and these simps, telling her, they'll drink their bath water and they'll have a collection of them. None of them will commit to them, but they have this collection that they still, can get that proposal when they. I just want to know
I'll be
deep
honest,
down
Triple. Come
inside,
on, they're playing
deep
the
down,
game on them. They're playing the game on in the open
now
deep
I
down
got
inside,
it.
do they
I
really
got
think?
it. I got it.
Do they
I
really
got
think that
it.
they can get that guy?
Nah, they're playing hand games with that woman. And, yeah, and like I said, we are the keeper of our body. You sit up there and let those men say what they want to say to get between your legs and everything. When they're ready, y'all chose us. We don't choose y'all. And the woman have to understand that. Y'all choose us. You got in your head, you gonna marry us or not. We can't change you. We can't make you marry us.
Right. But no, I
And
mean,
then,
most of them think they have all these options for marriage when they just have a bunch of options for dick.
No, well, let's get to
mm,
let's get let's break this down. Let's go back to the sum book in this real life. A woman's only gonna be blessed with two men in her life. They're gonna really love her and really cherish her, and really do right by her. She's only blessed with two. So some of you women is running through you two real fucking quick. You wonder why you ain't getting that? You don't deserve her now another one. What the fuck? He
Wow.
already gave you one and you fucked over him, and you gave you a second when you fucked over him. And a lot of them guys that were true men, they had instructions for you. They had things for you to do. They had things for you to do. That and they say that's your husband. He got something for you to do. Okay? Okay, I ain't talking about these old lovable ass old motherfucking freak niggas. No, your man is gonna be on some order shit. He gonna be letting your ass know, hey, I need you to go do this because it's gonna help me do this. And it's gonna get me
Hmm.
to this. And some of you women be like, I ain't doing that. And he gonna say, well, fuck you and move on. See, the man gives the instructions. So whatever woman submit to his will, then she's gonna have to do it. You don't have to. Don't trip. That's why a lot of you women out here ain't gonna find no man, because you don't deserve no motherfucking man. Like I told you, bitch ass niggas, I do not simp, and I do not sip, and I do not cook, and I'm sure ain't goddamn me just bring a power pom from you bitch ass niggas. I am this balance. I am this game. That is Prince PL. That's in the name.
And you know what, Trip on Prince, and I always say the first date should be a walk in the park. Sitting and know, just communicate. It don't have to be a
Yeah.
5-star restaurant, or go to a fair, go somewhere so you can communicate, to talk to each other,
Right.
get to know each other, because that's what it's all about. It's not a museum or something like that, a beach. It's not about money. Your first date, or you want to get to know each other, you want to have conversation, what you like, what
Hmm.
just conversation. You can't sit and talk while you eating.
Nah.
Hell
You know,
no,
Nah.
when
man.
you
It's
get
gonna
a
give you
good
a
woman,
choke.
she gonna cook you a good meal anyway. You know what? I'll cook you a meal.
Yeah.
We could have a
Ancestors,
cat
boy.
like dinner at my house or your house, something like that. You know, just keep it simple. You know,
She's gonna
Nah.
show her femininity to you on sight. She ain't with that bullshit.
Yeah. It's there's so many, especially again, uh, we do hold the keys to the relationships, and
hmm
I definitely think that's why I made this thing is we have to choose better. We definitely
hmm
have to choose better. We have to be more discerning of who we stick our dick in and who we even deal with, uh because dudes been so thirsty for so long, they've put a battery in the back of these women, and especially with feminism. And there's like no, you have a whole, you have a bunch of women running around with no agency, and
Y'all created
they
these
say,
monsters, triple. Y'all create. Let me tell you something. Y'all created these monsters. I'll never forget.
yeah,
One time I was in the gym. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead,
I'll
man,
tell
go
you.
ahead. No, no, go ahead.
I was
No,
in the gym. I only weigh 100, and now I weigh 139 pounds. I was 120 pounds. I was just, and one of these two big girls told me, girl, you need to eat. You too skinny. No man don't want no skinny woman. And I'm hippie. 120 is kind of thick to me. And I'm looking at gym. I'm like, okay, so why y'all in the gym? We just in the gym. We just toning or whatever. And they weigh about 250, 300 pounds. And I'm saying, y'all creating these monsters, because now when you have somebody small, they pick at us.
yeah. I mean, because the thing about it is they've been allowed to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, men have allowed them, because men have basically no standards. Men have allowed them to pretty much be whatever. Like men have, I mean, it's a reason why they have this delusion. I mean, they feel like before they even look to settle down with somebody, they should have a period of time to where they go and sleep around. I mean, that's just like a rite of passage. Girl, I need to have my whole stage. And then you ask that question to the thing. Okay, all right, you have your whole stage. What is the productive thing you get from your host stage, like your host stage, like the stage where you just go out there, and what can one penis teach you about another penis? And
Mm-hmm.
they get stumped. I mean, it's just men can do it. That's the only justification. Men can freaking piss standing up. I mean, should you piss standing up?
We can't do everything. I'm be honest. I've been at this game for a decade. I've been divorced almost a decade, and I haven't date. I don't date or whatever. But I'm telling you, triple. I mean, y'all have y'all handful with these women. Y'all making them career with the child support. Um,
Mm,
I mean, they're looking for the men with the good jobs that come up and everything. And like I
right.
told my sisters, I advocate for them. You know what? Keep your legs closed, married for carry, because the end of the day is these guys will say anything you get between your legs. I mean, they're sitting on your couch playing your kids' Xbox, eating your fruit snacks. They're not working. I mean, they're driving your car while you at work. And I mean, come on. I mean, I go to the jailhouse, and I go every Saturday. I minister to these women and stuff. And you should see, I mean, the stories I hear. Like, wow.
No, I mean, it's just no. They're it's almost bottom, like, okay, okay, like,
Talk to me. I'm
or
on mute.
no, no, I'm just saying, okay, all right, let's just say if probably like back in the day, if some, well, I don't know how far back. I mean, because we had a dish in the 80s, we have a dysfunctional area. Maybe in the 70s, 60s, or maybe that. If a woman was in a jailbird, um, that would be a little embarrassing, right? I would
Yes,
think, huh?
yes, yes,
If your daddy was a jailbird, I mean, or your husband was a jailbird, that would be a kind of a little bit embarrassing, right?
yes.
But fast forward to 2001, if if uh if a woman, went to go visit her husband or her boyfriend, her boo thing in jail and posted a picture on social media, uh, do you think she would get um more praise or more disgust?
It depends on individual. My family would discuss, but you talking about now gangster prop or whatever. So it depends on
Oh,
the.
look at him. Oh, he don't got big. Like,
Hmm.
you would have a
Hmm.
whole bunch of likes and you're taking pictures with him in prison and I mean, and you're proudly putting that
Free
shit
my
out
bro, free him,
there.
free
Yeah, free
him.
him. I mean,
He
what I'm
done killed
saying
three
is
people.
that used to be that would probably be a point of embarrassment.
Hmm. Hmm.
You would be embarrassed.
Hmm.
You'd be embarrassed. I would think that you would be embarrassed as a mother, as a wife, as a thing to have to be dating a jailbird, to be engaged to one. It'd be like, damn, like, oh, he proposed to me. I'm about to get married to Tyrone, even though he got 20 years. I mean,
But Triple, you know the thing now, these women's looking for guys locked up. No, you can't make this stuff
look,
up.
I'm talking about they got love at lockup. They have a show
Oh,
that's
I ain't never seen that.
oh
Mm,
my God. That shit is
I gotta
crazy.
watch that. What? Love it,
They
lockup. That's
have a show glorifying men, I guess men and women that have been locked up. Which don't get me wrong.
hmm
I mean, I think if you're in love with somebody that's locked up, you should hold them down, whatever. But the the, the glorification of it, I mean, it just seems how things have changed so much to where you're like, oh my God, like what used to be shameful and embarrassing is now okay. It's okay.
I feel sorry for the innocent ones, the
Yeah.
ones who got framed and didn't do it. But
You say you do jailhouse ministry.
yeah,
So, uh,
yes.
um, have some of these women, kind of, uh, I don't know. Is it what do you think that draws them so much to the jailbirds? Is it just the excitement?
I'm be honest, it's more Caucasian women than blacks. Um, drugs.
Drugs?
A lot of the majority of them, like 80% of them got caught up in drugs, robbery, stealing, and stuff like that. And then majority of our women's some drugs, but some depends on like their husband, who they got,
Was it
caught up
domestic
with.
violence?
Domestic violence, murder, robbery.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
or they get caught up, the drug house getting run into, and they happen to live there.
Yes, a lot of that. A
Okay.
lot of that. And then killing people for money,
Wow.
committing murder. Yeah. So
That's what you
and
see a
these
lot of
are
the so you do ministry for the female
mhm.
inmates.
Yes, I do. I was doing the males with my uncle. He been doing it for 20 years. But I just focus on the women's now. because
Yeah.
there's so much with them that I see a lot comes and goes, and then I see some who really turn their life around, get their career, got a home, and they keep in contact with me and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I have to say, a lot of y'all brothers, y'all be holding the babies down while they locked up. You know,
Hmm.
some of them got remarried and just still took care of her while she in there, and let the kids visit. But you got some of them, they're so messed up, they leave and they come back 2 or 3 months later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, it's definitely it's a real thing. And
Mhm.
actually, Toya, me and Toya was talking about this the other day.
Mhm.
Is this prison and industrial complex
Mhm.
that they get conditioned to I guess want to be locked up. I mean, it's a subconscious thing. Because a lot of times, like the real world is so hard to take that it's almost comfortable to be locked up. You know what I'm saying?
In
It's no big
county,
deal,
I deal with the county, and
huh?
prison, I deal with the county jailhouses,
Hmm.
so facilities. But the prisons is like that. A lot of them,
It's no
like they
big
know they're
deal.
going home. Yeah, it is a difference between county and prison, federal and state.
Oh,
It's
okay.
totally different.
What are some
Yeah.
of the key differences you think? I
Um.
don't know. Knock on wood. I haven't been.
Federal, you have more freedom. In state, you have more freedom. County, you limit. In
Oh,
county,
you're
you're
lying.
only doing a year. You're only doing a year or less. When you go
Okay.
into state and feds, you're doing a year up. Federal is more a lot of white collar crime. So you
Right.
stay in dorms. It's not even you have your own TV, you have your own refrigerator. It's like living in your own apartment.
Oh, federal prison.
Hmm. And that's a lot of
But those people are required to do more
crime
time,
there.
huh? Hello?
Yeah, and then sometimes not. It could be not really. You could do fast for 2 years too.
Yeah.
2 years and up
For
with
2 years and
fast,
up.
yes.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm. Hmm.
because you've heard of the harsh prisons, and we know, prison is
Like Rockland
is
Island and New York
yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You tell the maximum prison, yes.
yeah. I mean, the thing about it is we're humans. Like, I'll give you an
Hmm.
example. Using like locking up or putting somebody in a hole for a month.
Hmm.
I mean, how does somebody recover mentally from being isolated for months, maybe months or weeks at a time from everybody?
Some of them don't. Some of them they don't. Some of them don't, and that's why the prison and jailhouse is a multi-million-dollar industry. You
Hmm.
know, and they don't give them rehabilitation there. Now they get laptops and stuff. Some of them
Yeah,
have phones, yeah, but still they don't really have counseling there mentally with them. They
right,
really prepare them for the outside world, and that's what I was doing with the women's. Like I was make sure they get their medication because the majority of them was on psych meds. Make sure they have somewhere to go. When they leave there, make sure they have the social worker, the case manager work with them. I have a full wraparound service for them when they come home.
now because if we've been around this, and what
Mhm.
is your I mean, it sounds like your background is social work, right?
Yes, I'm a case management with
You're a case
mental
management.
illness. Hmm.
Let's be honest about it. Do you think the way that the current system is, because the failure rate is pretty astronomical.
Hmm.
It's very astronomical.
Hmm.
What they say, once you've been to prison once, or you're very likely to go back again. I mean, what is it? The
That's what they say. They say
Yeah,
that. Yes.
yeah. I
They
mean, but
even
the
have it
numbers,
so by the time you a black male in the sixth grade, they could tell if you're gonna be in prison or jail.
right?
Yeah, a lot of
And
people don't know that the school system and the criminal justice system work hand in hand.
right. Uh, but you know what? Let me dive into that real quick. And because we talk about the issue of marriage or being married, having that whole infrastructure, how because it really makes a difference. And the thing about when you hear the word when especially the modern women hear the
Mhm.
word marriage or uh, I can't speak for myself. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I don't think most men, because most men on here they do talk about um, you know having families and being married and stuff like that. But you have a lot of people that push back against it. Um, they push back against it, and you have like in a lot of these statements like "marry before you carry" are very
Mhm.
very offensive. You know, when you look at the statistics, right? First of all, let's look at the poverty rate, right? And you can look this up. It said like if a black woman is a single mother and she's the head of household, there's a 74% chance that they're going to live under the poverty line, right? That's that's a you're almost, I mean, you're almost getting a raw deal from the beginning, right?
Right.
And when you live under the poverty line, it trickles down to so many different things, like your education, prison. All those numbers increase, right? The likelihood increase, right? Why is it
Right.
so hard for women to comprehend? He's like, hey, you know what? If you have this child, right, and you have this child, out of wedlock, and you just happen to be the head of the household, all these numbers increase to the detriment of your child. Why does that not alone change some of the behavior and the decision making of a lot of these young women?
For what I found out, triple, and, I know it sounds simple or whatever, but it got to start within the household. We are
Mhm.
our child first teacher.
Right.
And we have to teach our kids this. That's why I always put the fear in my two daughters. Okay, at the end of the day is if you get pregnant, no child support, the father's not guaranteed gonna be there because he could leave and still you have to take care of that child. You finish in high school.
Hmm.
So that means you're gonna have to take care of baby. You're gonna have to pay for daycare. That costs such and such. Life insurance, milk, almost like $60 a case. And I had to break everything down to them to fear, put the fear in them in their dad. You're not dating until you're 18. And then if you think that you're going to get pregnant, to get out of my household, so you get on social service, this is how much they're going to give you on food stamps. This is where you're going to have to live at with rats and roaches. I had to break everything, put the fear in them.
Right.
Because majority kids are seeing what their mother do. It's a tradition. They're from the projects. Oh, I get my own places. I get pregnant. This and that. It's a pattern. It's a pattern. And they don't
Hmm.
they're not having nobody teaching these kids that.
Right. I
They're not
mean,
teaching, and the majority of mothers not there. They can't. I mean, you can't even raise your kids property without social service and Section 8 and stuff.
wow. No, yeah,
It,
exactly. You've already in the system, and they don't
mm-hmm.
understand that it's hard to leave the system. And that food, the food stamps and all that stuff, that means you're in the system. The Section 8, you're in the system. Like a lot of guys, I mean, a lot of women don't understand. Listen, if you're on Section 8, you're on Section 8, it's almost illegal for that man to be in your house, living there.
And that's what it is. That you know what? And this what they don't teach a lot of kids this. A lot of parents. When my child graduate, they graduate out of school with associate's degree. A lot of people don't even know that.
Mm-mm.
When your kids graduate, they could graduate with associate's degree.
Yeah, if they do dual enrollment and stuff like that.
They got
Yeah.
nursing, they got engineer, they got mechanic, they could do here. They got all that stuff in school. By the time they're in ninth grade, that's when their credit starts. Start preparing them, have them a little job. If they want a job, 2 or 3 hours or whatever, keep them occupied, whatever. After school program, whatever. I always kept my kids real busy. They advocate in the community and stuff like that. And they hate the inner city. But we do toys for tots. We feed the homeless, and we were real active. So it's up to the parents. My husband was real active in both of my daughters' lives and stuff like that. So it's really up to the parents. It's up to the
Hmm.
parents, and it's not. And let me tell you something. Raising a child is not easy. It's expensive.
Right. No,
So
but there's other parts to it. There's other parts to it. It's like when you are when you're married, let's just say if you're married, right?
mhm,
And that foundation is already built. Let's just say it doesn't work out. The
mhm,
foundation is already built. Chances are I mean, both those parents are going to be active participants
mhm,
in that child's life because there was some type of union, there was some type of merger of families, right?
mhm.
That child is probably not going to be as affected as a child that the woman was a baby mama.
You,
You know,
you're right. It's because I see the
it's a
difference in my
complete
daughters. You're
difference.
right.
It's a complete
You're
difference.
right.
It's a
You're
complete
right.
difference. I mean, then again, if when you're asking women to take that route, and even some men, it's like you are telling them, you're putting restrictions on them. You're putting restrictions on their career, you're putting restrictions on their body, you're putting restrictions on their sex life, their experience, all that. This is something that they should be entitled to. They should be entitled to date, like, 15 men before they decide they want this guy to be the husband, right? But the thing
I,
about it
I I
is,
I think that's horrible because you got diseases and stuff like
yeah, but
that,
I mean,
and they got to be careful.
no, they need these experiences. They have to have these experiences. If they don't have these experiences, they don't, it's not their rite of passage. And the same thing with the men. The
I
same thing.
disagree. I
No,
disagree with that.
I'm not
No, I know
advocating
what you're
for it.
saying. I know what you're saying. I
I'm
said,
not advocating
mm,
it.
I'm 50 some years old. I ain't had
Or
that many in my whole life.
I know, but that is, I mean, that's an acceptable
Mhm.
practice. That's an acceptable practice, and and from a logical standpoint, they'll be like, well, you've had all these different experiences, and somehow, from a logical perspective, you've had all this freedom, you have all this lack of agency, and one day you're gonna flip on a switch and be like, oh, okay, uh, now I'm going to just submit, or to be with one person, and now you have 4 or 5 serious relationships, and you might have had like 2 or 3 children out of that serious relationship. You know what I'm saying? And now you want to, you're through one person that encompasses all this stuff, right? But the
Right.
problem is you're going to have 4 or 5 relationships, 4 or 5 men. You might have a baby daddy or something like that. You have to have a relationship with, and they're going to be interference on 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 the guy, on the guy that you want. Now, the guy has to step into a situation where he might be the fourth priority, right?
I don't think that's fair. Like my family, triple, my nephew, he just got married 2 weeks ago, 30.
Hmm.
So all my nephews they're married. So we got one more, he having a wedding next year.
Yeah,
So my family, we old school, we believe in marriage. I'm the first one ever in my whole family, my whole generation got a divorce.
right.
Mm-hmm. Nobody in my family never got a divorce.
None.
Two of my sisters, they're widows. Their husband passed away. I just buried one of my brother-in-law a couple of months ago and the other one last year. I'm the only one. All my generation got a divorce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
Well, go ahead. I
only
got something at
one.
my door.
I mean, but what I'm saying is you. How old were you when you first got married? Hello, Sheila. Can you hear me? Hello, Sheila. Can you hear me?
I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry.
Nah, it's all
I
right.
got somebody at my door.
I'll, I'll throw the link in there again, and if Sir want to come up and say something, I mean, now he probably more of the his conversation would be a lot different. I'm just
Yeah, I'm gonna go
venturing
ahead.
in
I'm gonna
this.
drop down, let you and
Yeah.
Sir talk. But you talking some good
No,
stuff, Triple.
no. I mean, I'm about to drop down too, but I just wanted to
Okay.
because no, I just wanted to say a couple more things. Is
Okay.
you and now what I was also let me. You said when did you get married? How old were
I
you when you
got
get?
married when I was young.
Okay.
I was the
All right.
early 20s. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean
Yeah.
that's. I mean that's it's you
Yeah.
gotta you almost have to do it young because
Yeah. Because I was
uh
21. Because I was 21 when I had my
yeah,
first daughter. Hmm.
right, right. And I think that's one of the biggest problems is when it comes to having functional relationships and functional marriages and being able to find quality wives, quality husbands, we just have to drop this whole mentality of we have all this time, we have all this, this thing like you're gonna learn, like you have this rite of passage, like you're gonna be able to go through these 10, 15 people and think at the end of the day you're going to be able to change. It's just you're running right into a burning building. Now you got to figure out right out the gate, what do you want? I mean, do you want a family? Do you want a family? Do you want a legacy as a man? If you want those type of things, man, you got to do things a little bit different, man. And you got to do it from an early age. I was just talking to one of my good
Right.
friends. He married his wife in college, right?
Hmm.
And he had his kid's a senior in high school. He has two boys, and he just had another kid, right? I was like, dang. And this is like 17 years apart. These kids are almost 20, 17 years apart, right? And then he's like, yeah, man, I would like to have two or three more. I was like, what?
Hmm.
But it was just like, I mean, that's just
That's
he.
beautiful, though.
I know,
That's beautiful.
but he understand the joys of life. He
Hmm.
understand that and the thing about it is like I told myself after I had my son,
Hmm.
that if I would have had a kid, like now I kind of wish I would have did it when I was 24, 25. I probably would
Hmm.
have had like five or six kids, because I got a taste at a granted it was at a late age around. I mean, I had my son when I was 30, 34.
Okay, you was
Of
like my sister. You had your
Right,
child
right.
when.
But I no, I
Mhm.
got a taste of being a father and fatherhood, and it was a beautiful experience. And I would have traded that experience versus in my 20s doing bullshit. You know what
But
I'm
you
saying?
still can as a male, though, because I know males
Yeah.
still have kids, and like a woman, at their age, it's a high risk, but males, I know males still
No,
having kids in
I
his late 40s, 50s.
no, I know that for sure. It's just that if I would have known, if I would have known, I would have I would have probably chose a different path. And
Oh, okay.
because the way I grew up and in our generation kind of because I'm in the tail end of Gen X, not in the
Okay.
beginning. Like, we were kind of told to kind of almost was similar to what the women are being taught to now. I mean, the women are being taught to be what we were taught to be. You feel me?
Yes. Yes.
Get your career, get your money up, party and 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 wait on family and get your money up and do all this type of stuff.
Oh,
Uh,
no partying. It was about family working and
right.
generation wealth. With us, it was
But
like, I think
but
we had it hard, Generation X.
yeah, I know. But
It was pressure. It was pressure on us.
I was at the tail end of it though. I was at the
So
tail
you was
end
the
of it.
you was the party. I was the y'all had fun. Y'all had it
Right.
easy.
Right. But we also had the crackhead mamas.
That's right. That's right. It was a lot of
Yeah,
yes, that's right. In that generation was a lot of
crackheads.
yes,
Crackhead
yes,
mamas. That's
yes.
why, that's why you have,
A lot
the
of mental
30.
ill going around, these kids
Right,
acting up
right.
and stuff.
You have the
Yeah.
35. I mean, you have the 32-year-old grandmother.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so funny you say that because I mention
Yeah,
that a lot, but I don't say on social media.
yeah.
Hmm.
You have the 32-year-old grandmother. You'll have the
I
yeah.
know.
That's yeah, and she'll make twerk videos with her 20-year-old daughter. I mean, like the, she'll
I
make
was
with her
about. I
six.
had my daughter had my son when I was 50.
Right, but I'm just saying is
Hmm.
she'll the 32-year-old grandmother is on TikTok twerking with her 16, 15-year-old daughter.
32-year-old grandmother.
Yeah, there is. I mean,
Mm-mm-mm.
when I was in high school, there were girls that were having kids at 15,
I remember that too. I
14.
remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
remember that.
they're not. I mean, think about it. If they had a kid at 15,
Hmm.
15. That's I guess nah. Well,
Yeah,
16.
they had it
Yeah,
15. Then yeah, then their child. Then yeah, and their child have a child. Yeah, they're gonna be in their
yeah.
30s
Right,
because you got the grandmother, the daughter, and the
right.
grandchild child hanging
Exactly.
out the clubs and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You see that. You see
Mhm.
that right there. That's a
I don't hang
generation.
out no more, but I hear about it. Hmm.
Right. But that's a see, I was at the tail end of your generation. I mean, but the
Hmm.
generation after the millennials, that's when majority the 80s crack epidemic hit. I was already born. I was, because I'm 40 and I think the Gen
Okay,
Xers,
you the same age as my nephews. Okay,
yeah, the
my
Gen
nephew.
Xers,
Hmm.
but my, I mean, I could have easily been in the millennial generation, but the people in the millennial generation, those are the people that had the crackhead mama, you know, the
Right,
the crackhead daddy, the prisoner,
right,
the crack era,
right,
the prison industrial complex.
right,
That's where you get the major dysfunction. The baby daddy era, the baby mama era. You know,
right.
yeah, where it's cool, to go half on a baby.
Hmm.
You
I
see,
mean, and it's oh God. I mean, whew,
yeah, just go half on a baby.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's
That's
cool,
crazy.
man. Yeah, but I'll let you go, man. I'm about to
Okay,
get
and
off
thank
here,
you.
man.
And I'm always gonna support you. I wasn't gonna jump on the panel, just show you
Pre-
support. And it was a pleasure
Appreciate
spending
that.
time with
It
you.
was a
You have a
pleasure, man.
blessed day.
All right, you too. You too.
Okay, Triple.
Thanks for
Okay, be
so much,
good.
man. Come on.
Okay.
All right, man. I'm gonna get off here, man. Hey, everybody, man. Thank Obadiah for coming in. And thanks Misha, thanks Juan G's, everybody, man, for supporting the platform. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about, um, some of these guys that that they'll be critical, critical of my content. I think. It's hard hitting. This is no cupcake zone. I'm gonna go more organic. I'm not gonna go more. Um, I'm not gonna go more supermarket. I'm gonna get more of these type of conversations because I think they're needed. Now, I'm gonna try in my best to make them as nuanced as possible, and I don't want to make them, where these conversations are stale, because I think it's important to have these conversations and to bring some 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 detail to it. Some detail to it. It's not the the normal thing. Bring um, a different perspective, a different way of looking at it, some different language, uh, you know, just some differences, not just arguing, what I'm saying, which is, um, you know, you know, it's, people want to silence, not almost kind of silence and shame you into, what do you call it? I want to say, lower level uh, brain function, more less cerebral content, more low vibrational stuff, and we gotta fight against that shit. You gotta fight against that shit. YouTube. The thing is easy money is the hard money, the hardest money you ever spend. Some some you know content creators, they're getting rewarded for fuckery, but there's a thing called karma. It calls karma because when you act irresponsibility, I mean, if you when you what they say you if you act stupid, you get stupid results, or you say stupid stuff, whatever, man. But anyways, it'll come tenfold, and I think um, I just have to be reminded of that. And me and Surism had that conversation. I'm like, man, you know what? The reason I don't venture into some of these, these different topics like this, where we're talking about like, what does a good wife look like? Because people don't want to listen, people don't want to support. People, tune out. They rather listen to the salacious content versus this type of content. Because young men are probably not interested. They're more interested in the how to bed the Instagram thought versus how to find a long-term uh, wife or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the player session, they may have a difference of opinion. They might look at my commentary as simping or whatever, which doesn't fucking matter. As a man, you stand on you just stand on your principles. You stand on what you know. You just be yourself. You don't give a fuck about what people think. You know what I'm saying? Stand on your square. But anyways, now I'm gonna, I'm brainstorming. I'm brainstorming some more nuanced content that's gonna be different. We're gonna venture into. I want to venture into some of the financial space. And look at some of the pitfalls of why. When you're vetting a proper woman, what are more behaviors? Now, I think that's something that I always wanted to do. Shout out to what was it, Soul Immortal. We if I got to be the guy that shines the light on the more you know the women that do display more of the virtuous qualities, I think that made for a good woman or a good wife or a good mother or a good relationship. I think I'm going to focus more on that. And I also want to focus more on us being good fathers. There's certain things that we can do from a father perspective. Um, teaching your son, for instance, when when your girl is pregnant or your wife is pregnant or whatever, those that whole those whole interactions, you know, um, you know, like holding your son chest to chest, with your shirt off, so they can feel your heartbeat. It's good for bonding. When they're teething, those type of things. If they're not, and I wish so more the women, maybe that's in the different spaces, would be talking about certain things, like again, like the woman, I mean, the kid latching on, how important that is. Breastfeeding, how important that is. Breastfeeding your child is so important, man. It's extremely important. Um, I it's those are real conversations, man. There's real conversations on why you should, you know, feeding them Similac, like that type of stuff. Um, you know, because those early things, those early things have a lasting effect. And you know, as a man, when for instance, I'm so glad that I was able, to run my household to where um, I was afforded, for her to be a stay-at-home mom, also for her to breastfeed. And I, man, my son, because he was breastfed, he hardly ever got sick. I can't even remember him getting sick, hardly at all, because of the breast milk. You know what I'm saying? Early, I mean, those conversations, and I got to write and do some more research on it, like early childhood education. There's a couple of things that I was able to do with my son early. When it comes to brain development, and it's very important with brain development early. There's a huge amount of there's a huge problem, especially within the Black community right now, about kids' reading level. Um, the kids' reading level, and why some other races are able to are more advanced. There's a lot of different things that you can, especially if you're a father or a mother, that you could teach your kid to be able to set them up very early in life. And I'll share some stories, because I have some experience in this department. But let me get off here, man. I've been on here for 2 hours and 47 minutes, man. Anyways, man, but shout out to everybody for coming through, coming down. Prince P was in the building. You already know what it is, man. I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna holler at you guys, man. But thank you so much, Sheila, for coming through, man, and showing some love, man. I'm gonna holler at you people. All right, man.